A very good day for the market, but apparently ACON is flying higher and opening up new countries and all that kind of good stuff, and the NASDAQ is trying to go back into the green. Trump didn't really, I don't know, man. We were expecting that big announcement, but we didn't really get a heck of a lot of anything here. But there is a rebound. I was just looking at Microsoft because it was that Microsoft headline. The only thing I'm in is SMCI currently. Shorted it a few times this afternoon. I mean, it was already weak. If you think Nvidia is bad, down 6.5%, SMCI is down 8.5%, ARM was down 5 and something. I haven't really checked on it in a little bit. Tesla only down 1.5, but one of the biggest moves. Well, if you looked at what the acceleration in the midday, like Tesla really fell off a cliff after gapping up, lost 300, lost 298. We got very, very close to some Friday support levels there on Tesla. So, yeah. Playmaker poll was a short, although the timing of it might have not worked out that well. But it's still been a pretty hefty short trade. Nvidia is climbing. Tesla is trying to make a little bit of a rebound. So you are getting some moves back in. Looks like the temporary bottom has at least been placed in. As I said, I'm only in SMCI to the south side. Once I get a fill, that'll fill back in.
Yeah, we are now all mic'd up. But yeah, welcome to the show one more time here. I mean, we just had a great show on AMD. Like the market just went ham there. Great long by Joe I saw on Nvidia. We just waited, got short Nvidia or AMD, and boom, right down into 99.80 off of this short, $100.24 there. Now we're short 40s, but it was an average price. So we have that right now. And then we were just short the TQs where we took. This was 300 handles at the bottom. We now have less than 5% left, but we want to sit here and wait to see if anything can come of this trade. But yeah, so far so good, man. It's been a little bit of a wild afternoon. We want to be short heading into any kind of talk. Every afternoon, not every, but it seems like the market's been faded out. We did have MSCI rebalance on Friday, helped give a little bit of a change to that. But for right now, downside, man, the Q's down almost 1% at its lows. I think it was about 1%. So we had this labeled and taken down. So yeah, what's up, Mike Simmons? I actually bought some more Big Bear AI over lunchtime as well, right around this price. So yeah, we're into Big Bear AI, just a couple hundred shares there in the swing account. But I mean, trying to hold it for a long time. I think there's a good possibility that Big Bear AI gets back to the upside. Thing is, they report on tomorrow. I think, let me double check. BBAI right now. So just check out some Big Bear. Yeah, report in 3 days. So Thursday, March the 6th, Big Bear AI reporting. So according to Benzinga, so we'll see when that comes out, if there's any moves there. But yeah, Big Bear down 4% today. It's the Nvidia show, and we're all just part of it right now because that made that move into 115. So what a great bottom that was. I mean, looking at it technically, again, like we just wick into there. You got to be brave to stand in there and take it, but it was a good one right off of past support as well. But wow, bad, man. A bad week and a half for Nvidia as they topped out at 140, now down to 115, and not looking like there's any relief coming for this name. So we're still short everything and looking to get more short, to be honest with you. We'll watch out, though. If AMD breaks out $100.50, then we're out of that, and we'll just move away from it. So far we wait. Financials up. NASDAQ was worse than the ES, but now that's sort of battled back here, where now we're tied. ES down 0.6, NASDAQ down 0.6. So roughly the same 2/3 of a percentage points for both of them. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we go to Sharif, before today, NVIDIA's forward PE was just above 20, which means, it's just true because it's down 6%. Their forward PE is now in the high teens. Under 20. Under 20. Wow. Like, what are we? Oops, that's not split adjusted. So you've got what are we calling it? The DeepSeek low instead of the February low is, I guess, what we've been naming it. It feels to me like if you break that, just like gobble, gobble, gobble. Like DCA. If you haven't, I don't know, it is to each your own. Like, I haven't DCA'd it this year. So that's all I'm getting at. You break that and you're in the teens on. I want to make sure I'm not wrong about that, but you get into the teens and the forward PE, that's a buy. I mean, come on. What are we even talking about here? This isn't Intel. And of course, Intel's up a bunch today. So that's kind of why I say, like, this isn't Intel, because Intel is only up 1%. Intel was up a bunch today. I stand corrected. So there you go. Intel was up a bunch. And then we're going to go to Sharif. in just a quick second to see what name that you guys wanted us to talk about. I'm just going to flip already to Nvidia because I'm pretty sure that's going to be top of the list here. Oh. Ew.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The boys are locked and loaded. They're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers on there is to join Joe and I during the midday on the How to Trade show and get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers. But you got to be a subscriber in order to engage with us in the chat. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at the triple Qs, and the blood continues. We had a nice buy up there to close out the day on Friday. But more blood to the downside today. NQ down 0.2%, but off the lows, it was worse. The ES also down 0.2% with the Dow, believe it or not, also down 0.2% with the Russell 2000 getting it the worst of the four major averages, down 1.1%. As you guessed, Neil, it is NVDA that is the #1 ticker there. It was almost down 8% at the lows, about 6 1/3 right now. No real bad catalyst, guys. All we got today was that Broadcom, AMD, and Nvidia looking now at possibly using Intel's foundry business to manufacture their chips.
Oh, I did see this, and I want to shout out to a few people in the chat who pointed this story out. Man, why are my eyes all red?
You tell me, Neil.
Oh, I got a relatively decent amount of sleep this weekend. I mean, we weren't out that late for the curling night. Anyways, I just noticed that when I looked at myself on camera. No, Nvidia went down. There was some AI chip smuggling concerns. It's not that. Come on, man. So apparently some reports that there were AI chips reaching China, which obviously with the ban would be in violation of said chip ban. And I've just used ban twice. So that could be the reason that we're getting this flush down in Nvidia. I mean, the bigger story, we're just sort of talking about like the valuation and where I'm going to be looking to maybe start some DCAing again because I haven't bought any Nvidia shares this year, and I think I'm going to start to look to do so. But for this afternoon, right now we are battling with Friday's lows as the consolidation level. I'm looking over. Yeah, Joe got the bottom on Nvidia. I don't know why I was looking at the bottom on Tesla still. It worked, but Nvidia's bottom is better at 115. So I think here, but even more importantly, the 118 is going to be a spot. That's where everything accelerated on Nvidia was the 118 level. So it's not so much VWAP. I think it'll be that level for a bit of a curl. The names that outside of Intel, which I guess we're not getting into, I was in AMD earlier and SMCI right now. I feel like AMD is always weak. But if it gets back into 160 around VWAP, I'll like the same look there. And then SMCI, I like 39 better, but right now I'm shorting at the 38 level. But 39 is also a good level. So I'm looking fades on the chips. AMD Nvidia got to give it a little bit more room to the upside to get maybe another $1 higher just underneath VWAP for a fade. But the value, I mean, if you said a year ago that you'd have the numbers that NVIDIA's put up in the last 3 or 4 quarters, maybe not the explosive growth we wanted, but that you'd be able to pick it up at a forward P under 20, like everybody would be running to the hills to buy that. Yet somehow they're not right now, allegedly.
Yeah, I think they're bringing it down to eventually bring it back up. I haven't traded NVIDIA at all today, but we just went over to AMD. You know, AMD's actually up on the day. I thought it had some pickup or some catch up to do to the downside there. So I did want to look at it. We did short it right here at $100.50. We're short at $100.40 right now against 50. And then it just absolutely collapsed for us right there. So we'll take some more outs here in the teens. Here it comes back in one more time. So we're just here putting on trades and trying to do what we do best. Look at levels, try to fade them. So there it is in the 200 period moving average. Came up, hit it back down. It does have $1 to go back to the downside. We'll see if it can get there though. Again, nervous hands say that with NVIDIA trying to rally back and AMD's actually up on the day, you know, maybe not the short, but again, if it gives it up, there's a lot of room to come back in for AMD right back into here. So I like the stock. Probably a little bit more, you know, oomph in an NVIDIA today, obviously to the downside. But again, I'm not on it. it wasn't really even on my radar today. We talked about shorting a 126 level, which was awesome. At least we wrote down here 126, but the thing is, never got to that level, so we kind of left it alone. And right now, I'm still thinking underneath VWAP. I mean, VWAP played right there beautifully. Could play again at 119. So we gotta be patient with it. But it's AMD, AMD is the spinner today. So it's another one right there. We'll drop down some cash here for Advanced Micro Devices, climbing up the ladder for P&L greatness today. Advanced Micro Devices. SMCI apparently yucky.
Allegedly.
And continuing to go down. There's this headline today, JP Morgan maintaining their underweight rating on the stock, saying filing its revealed material weakness in the company they reported last week for their June and September 2024 quarters, risking delisting from the NASDAQ. That is no longer a possibility, guys.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's still been a sell the news event, so they're not going away. That's good news, but it has not been good news at all here for SMCI today. It was just a dump fest. And whether it's yesterday's highs, everything fell at the open, but this is the one that was really going before everything accelerated in the market and Tesla and Nvidia. SMCI was already looking nasty. At the end of the show, we're talking about this bottom here at 38.8. It's like if it starts to fail that, there's the break of the low, there's the higher low. So we shorted it at 39 a couple times to 38. Now we're shorting it at 38, looking for some 37s on SMCI. I think there's going to likely be, like they reported, so that you're not going to get deleted anymore. There's probably going to be a bounce somewhere that's good, whether it's the 50 period here at 36 or if it gets back down close to 30 or 28 in the long range here in the daily chart, I think that's a good go zone. But for this afternoon, I'm looking to short pops on SMCI. If it starts to put like a 2 handle on it, I think there's going to be a lot of people trying to buy it down there for a bit of a bounce because that's where it rallied from going into that earnings that they finally were able to report. But yeah, nasty day here. If it does get to the 50 period today, it'll be SSR, so 10% down. That might give a nice day trade bounce as well.
All right, yeah, good look over there on SMCI. I mean, like we talked about having to pay a little bit for shorts right there. We just covered some more down here at 100. Oh, actually, we didn't. We got missed. Oh, no, did we? AMD, yeah, we didn't. We don't even have a bid. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, we just got it right there at $100.03 right now, 37 cents in the money right there. Let's just look at another stock. We have Broadcom on there? No. We're going to look at ARM. I mean, that's been killed as well. Broadcom, just another name that there's been a lot of traders looking at because, you know, there's some nice positive talk about Broadcom and what they mean with some of the different, again, operations out there. It's not always just about looking for chip names like Nvidia, AMD, and whatnot. Broadcom is falling right in again, right into some nice levels. So if you like this stock up here at 200, I mean, you're down into 190 right now, looking to get into 180, which is really well supported. Forget about Nvidia and all that. Little undercover play here with Broadcom. Again, like the name, just gives you a little bit of different exposures than does Nvidia. Broadcom still with Apple and whatnot. So we'll wait for this, but 180 looking pretty good for Broadcom if and when that does come in. AMD is really trying to get low here, man. It's trying to break through that $100 mark. So 40 cents in the money right now. We'll see if it can come back in. The best outs we have for this is at the 50-period moving average, which is 81s. So we'll watch out what's going on right now. But yeah, let's go. Wow. Next bid for AMD actually 99.73s, but we got to adjust that because right now it's at 82 right now. Look, man, just stick with whatever you guys are doing because right now this is working out for me, trying to go short some of these names, waiting for moves to happen and then just booming it. So far so good here with shorting both Nvidia and SMCI and of course AMD. Nat Gas, yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy is right, Sean. 7.25. We were up higher. Nat Gas continues to trend up. Good look for it today. Trading higher amid record flows to liquefied natural gas export plant and forecast for stronger than expected, guys, demand over the next 2 weeks. Not sure why the demand is higher, whether it's colder in Europe or what the situation is, but it doesn't matter. We're up 7.75.
Exploding higher is the Nat Gas trade, so it's not the Widowmaker here. I believe this was I think maybe Sharif had this was one of his 3 picks. That is absolutely correct. So up that 8 points here today. wow, the trend's really good. Like, there's no question about it on nat gas. And the thing about nat gas, or a lot of commodities, but this one in particular, when it's trending, it's one of those like let it ride, because it tends to break backs when it trends down. And you try to pick a bottom, and if you try to pick a top, it does the exact same thing to you. So I would venture to say if it breaks out the top here, it'd be more of a trade to just look for continuation long, as opposed to trying to stand in front of it when it's clearly holding the trend to the upside. So it's a strong one. I mean, it can't really. I mean, we have access to nat gas futures. I don't think I've never put an order on Boyle. I've never put an order on this. I never trade it. But congrats to anyone who finally found the bottom here. But I would say, like, the amount of times we'd hear over the last 2 years, like, this is the bottom, this is the bottom, this is the bottom. For it finally to start going here, you got to feel like it rinsed a lot of accounts before making that bounce. So it's better to join it than to try to catch the low here on nat gas. 7.5%, looking very good. I wish all of energy was up this much, because I got some XLE, which I shouldn't be complaining about, but it ain't nat gas.
That's right. XLE is the one. Okay, so if you just want to trade something that's a little more exciting than nat gas, or maybe you don't have the futures or anything like that, of course, you could trade Boyle. So Boyle is something to look at right here. I was just looking at it. It looks like it wants to break out the highs right now through $90, which isn't horrible right now for Boyle. If it does get that, I guess the high really for today is not 90. It is much higher than that. It's $91 right there. So just watch out. Up 14% again. A double ETF right there. Obviously, it seems like on RSI, overbought right at these levels, but you know, this won't. Oh my. We're doing it again here. There goes AMD. There goes the market, man. 250 handles in the money on the TQ short right here. Just got some out at the 50-period moving average. And oh boy, man, as we watch out for the net, as we're starting to get a little elevated right now. There it goes. Huge move down for AMD. Right into the lows. Right into the lows where we got out before. We'll see if we can get to 99.40 right now on advanced micro devices. Oh boy, we'll have Obi with us next week, but this is a big trade over here right now. So we're going to just wait to see what winds up happening now. But let's put something else. Low 60s into the 40s, and then we'll see if we can break the low there today. 99.20 for advanced micro devices. All right, Sharif. ARM apparently also no good.
Yeah, guys, it's no good right now, down almost 5%. Elon Musk commenting about SoftBank, not specifically, obviously, ARM, but says Masayoshi Son is over-leveraged as $16 billion in AI loan fuels debate about the viability of OpenAA Stargate project. Again, not ARM specific, but chips are awfully weak today unless your ticker is INTC, guys.
You'll find a better one. ARM broken.
Yes. Nobody break your arms. You know what you got? If you don't want to break your arm, don't go long arm. But the other thing you got to consider is fall like Chuck does. Charles Barkley had a great clip where he shows you how to properly fall to not brace yourself.
Really?
It's hilarious because
I have to watch that
because he's old and he's big, so he wasn't
huge.
graceful. Just one thing here: SMCI just went SSR, so if it breaks trend, I'm jumping out. I'm not going long SMCI on the SSR bounce, but I am going to cover if it breaks this little downtrend that it's in, because it's now at that short sell restricted zone. So if it breaks 37.40, then I want to get out. I think ARM is, we're just looking at the, I was just looking at not just Nvidia, but also Broadcom's forward P. It's starting to get pretty attractive as well. You can't say that about ARM. ARM is expensive. I'm not going to bother to look it up. It's absurd. It's a very expensive stock on a forward P basis. But now that we might actually break this 120, if it's beneath the 200-period moving average, then to me, the DCAs, I just want to throw my stink bids, or I already have one at $100, or in front of $100, I should say, on the stock. So in the long term, this is one that I want to build a position on this year. So every quarter, I want to buy it at least once. And I'm looking at that 100 level, unless it can get back above the 200-period moving average. Quick answer to Daniel. Did you add XLE for your long position? Was it a full position? I'm not all in on energy. It hasn't done enough. But I did make a buy of XLE last year, actually a couple of them, but I wouldn't, it's not a full position compared to anything I have in, say, like tech or financials. But I am looking to build into it. It's not really doing much of anything, so I haven't had any impetus to buy in. ARM, it's about patience, because I think if the market does continue this downward trend, this is exactly the kind of stock that can really get hit because of its valuation. It's not one I would rush into, but like a slow DCA this year works for me. And it's not doing that much to trade. I mean, just now, the move on ARM was in 80 cents on a $125 stock. In the same range or the same amount of time, you had a move of like 38 to 37, so like 75 cents on a $38 stock, SMCI. SMCI is going to move more than ARM, so I'd rather trade that.
Yeah, look, ARM I think has a little ways to go. This is a weekly chart for ARM. So sometimes we get a little carried away thinking like, okay, you know, it's looking good on the daily, but let's not remember, like, you know, there's really, I'm feeling like this could fall into here, like $100. Like now that we've broken through the 50-period moving average, we haven't had 50 periods on a week yet. So, well, we have, but it started right here. And now you're below it. We've only been underneath it once. And we battled right back upside. So right now you're just at a spot where it looks like it's definitely vulnerable to get that drop back into here. The next support level is 115. And then after that on the weekly, then you're back down here at 100. And then you're playing that game where it's like that, you know, evil $100 level. And we're not sure what we're to think about it. So yeah, I would wait on ARM completely. And I'm not ready to buy anything. So you know, the last thing we bought was Tesla, and that was a mistake. We sold some Palantir at 114. We talked about that. That wasn't high enough. So right now we're just going to sit back, relax, and start to buy some indexes at some point. And I'll definitely let you know when I do that. The only thing we've been buying lately is Big Bear AI. All right, Bitcoin down to 87,000 again.
Yuck. That's a yuck.
And IBIT, Sean, losing $50 and looking to fill that gap, guys. Look at that big move down, looking to fill that gap. On the chart, separately here, Fox Business Reporter reporting that GOP Majority Whip and Representative Ritchie are teaming up to launch the Congressional Crypto Caucus, which is going to be a bipartisan initiative with the goal of advancing crypto-friendly policies in Congress's lower chamber. Guys, obviously a bullish headline here, but the stock price not taking note of that. Bitcoin down again.
Look, if you weren't tuning in this morning when it was talked about, or you weren't paying attention over the weekend, a lot of that reserve headline resulted in the biggest moves coming in Cardano, and then probably followed by Solana, I would say, because it was a bit of a surprise. You think, okay, you're going to get Bitcoin to be mentioned. Everyone knew that, and then ETH would make some logical sense, and XRP as well. But the big move was actually in Cardano. It's not a good look to lose this much of the bid after that rally. Like, the first thing I thought about was, okay, all you got to do is hold this prior low here at 92 or 91.5, and we're going to be good to go. Continuation longs and giddy up. Everyone's been waiting for this reserve, and unfortunately, that was the place to bounce. It made the bounce. It did not sustain the bounce. You could take the reservation. You couldn't hold it. You couldn't hold it. And unfortunately, like, we're not gonna, I guess Palantir's not on the list, but I'll show you, it's similar to Palantir today, where the moment where the resistance was off of your long opportunities was like a reversal level to start thinking short. But we liked a bunch of longs today. So yeah, Bitcoin was a long that worked, and we're up on it, but those same areas were both a flat bottom break, and then the place where we got out was also a bit of a reverse play. It's one of those days. I'd be happy to be up, but man, if you just shorted the levels that I was covering longs, it was way better on Bitcoin than taking the longs.
All right, so your boy tried it. You know, we tried to go long there early. We thought it was going to try to hold this little bottom of the pre-market. It did not, and whoops. We go downside, and the rest, as some say, is history. And I mean, that one definitely is history. Down, 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 down. I think it's going to break even lower. This 50-period moving average has been holding since 1 o'clock. It's 2:30 right now. We're seeing a continuous move to the downside right here. So I would say you're still looking short, man. I mean, there's nothing in this Bitcoin that makes any sense to me right now. I just, like, I'm actually really surprised that you could tweet things out like it's just like, we're going to add Cardano and XRP and all this. It just sounds to me like really, really sketchy to do that. But, you know, this administration will do what they want, obviously, and I'm fine with it. I just don't know what to think about it. Like, here's Cardano. I actually just bought some more right now at 88 cents. So you know, I'm going to wait to see. Maybe fool's gold right there. It comes right up to the top, hits that 120 right back in right now into the 50-period moving average. I mean, I'm here to trade, so whatever. We're going to wait to see what winds up happening with Cardano. A little dip by right now. I just bought it right at the 50-period moving average. So we actually got 88 cents. It just triggered like maybe a half hour ago. So now we'll wait to see if it can drop back up to the upside. I don't know if I'll even buy more down here at 67. I mean, what I feel like you're doing when you're buying some of these coins, especially Ripple, Dogecoin, I mean, these ones have a little bit more use than a Dogecoin, so I better watch out what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you know, we're just kind of buying this imaginary stuff and hoping that at some point the news is great and we do build this reserve and we do have a nice upside possibility here. So, yeah, man, I mean, I'm still excited about crypto. I'm buying more right now. But it's not like I'm jumping in with 2 feet. You know, we've been getting some out. We did recently buy Bitcoin at 87 and 86,000. So we'll wait, man. You know, my bid for 86,000 went in December. I checked, and that's why I was like surprised when it got filled. But it did, and now we'll just have to wait for a low. I mean, I think we can test that $79 mark again. 79,000 into 77,000. That wick bottom, I think, gets tested again. So I'm not super excited about crypto right now, but I'm trying to buy the dip.
Yeah, I feel like we're in the buy the dip for the longer look, as opposed to, yeah, we're going to buy it and we're going to be up and we're laughing in a week or two. That's what it feels like to me, for sure there. Shoot, oh, there was a super chat. There it is. Shout out to Barry Dingle. I see what you did there. Love the show. Thanks for the amazing daily content and dropping consistent knowledge that can't be found elsewhere. Thank you so much. Can you please check out SPGC? Okay, so you got yourself penny stock here. And I have looked at this one already. I know you were mentioning this one earlier. I think I did message you back and forth in the chat about the lack of volume or follow through on SPGC after it had that big move in the middle of the day. What I don't like about it right now is it's 120 million in volume. This is the liquidity on this penny stock. So typically, like if you see the ones that are really good, these penny stocks, we're doing this kind of volume, you want it when you can see like the 10K plus lots in here. That's 100 shares. Like I don't have actual share size on there. So that's like 100, you know, and that's 7,000. You don't have a ton of liquidity despite all of that volume. So that's what you want to see. Right now it's a dark pool game going on. And that's why it's probably going sideways with not a lot of action. You've got some good support at a pre-market high at 15. But until you start seeing the volume come back into this, when a stock looks like this, you want to join moves that are going, not get wrapped up when it's not doing anything. So you got to be really careful with these penny stocks. Like I never want to be involved trying to guess that this low that it's trying to make here is the one. I'd rather get involved when it's like, okay, does this break? Well, catch it on this day, or like try to catch it early on that day for that break. Like join the move as opposed to try to, you know, like figure out where the bottom is going to be. So you get decent volume today. No questions asked. Can it maintain that volume tomorrow? Sorry. I tried to hold it until I finished the thought. If it maintains the volume tomorrow like this, I think it could be a bottoming pattern here on that SPGC. Appreciate the super chat, but I can't say I like it right now given what the liquidity looks like.
All right, Erie Pages wanted to see what the top traders look like. We are working for at Real Trading, the #1 prop firm in the world. And you can go find Real Trading at realtrading.com. And it is about that time right now. So let's do this and see who made the most of this on Friday. He's a bigger one. It's a bigger day on a Friday. Right there. Someone had diamond hands on Friday. $55,000.
330.
Maybe it was Brendan. It was not. I mean, whatever. I'll say it wasn't. He doesn't really trade anymore. All right, 55,000, 54,000. Someone battled. Right there. Now, these are just the markets that they trade. We have over 60 plus markets right here. And I want to say a big shout out to my guy Jackson, who came through a grade 13 years old, grade 8 student that came in on Friday, and I spent about an hour and a bit with him and his mother and talked all about trading and so on and so forth. So shout out to you, Jackson. Thank you for coming through here at Trader TV Live, waiting for that project. I hope you get an A+, and if not, Give me your teacher's number over there. All right, Amex, Chicago. No, don't give me his number. Amex, Chicago, New York, NASDAQ. Okay, hold on a second. I'll make sure that we have, as AMD is right now, guys, like, it's coming back in a little bit to the downside as the market's getting worse for us here. Yeah, big day alert, man. New York, NASDAQ, CME, NASDAQ. So again, we did have the big rebalance there. Neil and I didn't do anything on it, but obviously maybe some traders did. It was also a pretty busy day just with the movements happening. So this is probably something to do with the rebalance. Whenever you see Amex on here, Chicago CME and things like that, it could be some futures trading. But however, I trade the TQs on which are futures, and that's NASDAQ. So someone could have traded the Qs, or this could be a TQQ trader. I have no idea, or SQQ. There's the NASDAQ again. Someone in Canada. Don't add us. Canadian, okay? Canadian, all right. All right, Canada TSX and the TSX Venture. Then somebody is getting educated here on various markets because we have someone that traded Amsterdam, Bovespa, the Brussels sprouts, not bad, baked a little bit. You get a little crispy action going on there. Yeah. No, not for me, but my wife likes them. All right, TSX, Helsinki, LSE, New York, Paris, Stockholm, Turkey, and Zitra, which would be the German exchange, of course, and then wrapping it up with a pathetic $8,200 in cash. That's just joking. It's a great day. Right there, $8,200, great day. Wrapping it up, these are all in USDs. So thank you, Ari Pages there, for reminding me to go over those with all y'all right there. Okay, we said that AMD was getting a little bit excited here, and there it goes right down. So we didn't, my bid was at 99.40s. It got to 60 right there. Let's put another bid there at 60 just in case it comes back down. We'll put a bid at 80s, get that filled. Just, we could wait there. It's actually 62 or 63 is the bottom there. We'll just sit a little bit halfway. See if we get a bid here for AMD back at 79. And then the TQs, we were able to rinse out of that one a little bit as that came right back into this area. We have like 2% left of this position, maybe even less. We're going to get out if it breaks right here. So let's put that order in. We don't even have to cancel our other order because it was way up there. This was risking about 50 handles. We made 300. 73.50, 73.61. We'll put our stop order out for all of it if it does go through there. So
Historical was asking about, it's in the chat. Historical asking about Bitcoin. How's Bitcoin doing? Choppy at the low.
What's up, Historical? What's up,
Chilling at 87,000 right now, 87.3. If you're looking at IBIT, basically the bottom of the range has been a chop fest from $50 to 49.2. So if you're trading this one to the south side, it's like short to 50 and then play back into 49. So shout out to you. Daniel was asking in the chat, is there any news on Amazon why it's so weak? Well, the thing about Amazon, there's no, its chart isn't exactly different from a lot of other tech right now. So it's hard to, for any chart that looks like this today, it doesn't need a news story to be bad. It's right down into Friday lows. It's not underneath those. So it doesn't stand out in terms of weakness as far as I'm concerned. And really, it's just we're getting a lot of bleed today. The fact that it didn't break Friday's lows is arguably almost a good thing, I would say, with Amazon. Jet C, what do you think of Meta short? I really here's the stocks I have up right now: Nvidia, Tesla, SMCI, Palantir. So those are 4 stocks that I'm watching. And Meta, I actually like the fact that Meta's above its 50 period on the daily, holding it. We just showed Amazon down at those bottoms, and Meta is nowhere near Friday's lows. It's actually holding up pretty well. It's only down 0.4 when the NASDAQ is 0.7. So there's a wealth of names that you can look to short some pops here today. I don't know that I'd want the one that's strong relative to the market. So I'm not really thinking Meta short just for that reason alone, because there's so much else that you can look at. So as I said, SMCI went SSR, so we got out at that level, went 10% downside, was looking for it to retrace back into 38. It's halfway there. So if it gets back to 38, then hopefully the stock is still living on a prayer and we'll go short.
Exactly. That's some bad medicine right up in there. All right, so we'll just wait to see what is happening here exactly with the market. Yeah, bad medicine's a joint. They're all a joint. Living on a prayer is a joint. They're all. Bon Jovi is great.
But I feel like Living on a Prayer is the one that everybody always that's the one that it's every single wedding you'd go to always.
Yeah. I actually saw him in New Jersey.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, where he's from. I don't know what if they're still playing or not. Yeah, Cheese. I saw Cheese on Saturday at
Nice.
Elimination Chamber. Oh man, Elimination Chamber was a joint. That was heck of a lot of fun there. Drake also was sitting apparently ringside. He tried to text me to hook up, but my phone was on Do Not Disturb for some reason. So my bad.
No, you're at the event with the boys.
Yeah, my bad on that one. Drizzy. Okay. No, all right. So I was just looking at Intel down here right now. We can just continue to look at some of these names. I'm trying to cover some of these positions, getting a little bit sort of short in the tooth here with some of these shorts. That's kind of cool how we have like the hologram there. That's awesome. I like that. Follow us at Trader TV Live. Put that back, man. I like that. Whatever. It's not a hologram. I don't even know what that thing is called. But all right. So coin is bouncing. Yeah, let's look at that. But I just want to see Intel because we did recently. So we had bought the dip here. This was playing off that low again, but that low broke. So, we were in Intel right there. Nice move back up to the upside. This was 24 longs, out 24.60 right up to the 200 period. Really was bouncing off VWAP until out there again at the 50 period. Then reloaded right down here at 23.80. Then it dropped out and lost its day low right there at 23.75. So we wound up getting out. And that's just a play that I'm going to make pretty much 10 times out of 10. So I feel no ways about that, but we'll have to wait to see if we're going to punch back in on Intel. Looking to see, again, back into here. I don't think we'll layer our orders. It's going to have to come to 23.70, the low of the day. But I'm trying to think about shorts, to be honest with you right now. The market is still under VWAP. We can trade, we took 300 handles off of this because we saw this top and just went short on that pop. That should be a shirt. Saw the top, shorted the pop. All right, so right into here is also not a horrible level, 20,800. So, looking around, thinking about this as well. So we'll have to wait to see if something comes from this 20,800 or so for a short in the futures if it does come through one more time. All right, so Intel, AMD, we talked about buying some more Big Bear in the long-term account. I like that play. All right, AMD, what is this, 99.60? All right, we're bidding 99. Okay, we're bidding 99.79. Bang, there it is right there. Oh my God, what's up, Valeria? Right there. So we'll just pick that back in right there, 99.78. So we will take that out a little bit. Make AMD $2 again. Mark, it might make itself $2 again. I don't think it'll get that low.
$2,
Yeah, it won't get that low. I'm just joking around. It definitely won't get that low until at least a couple more years. And then anyways, as we go, you could see AMD. We sort of made fun of this stock and called that advanced money destroyer, but that was all the way up here. Now it's not even funny at all because I know it has destroyed many people's accounts. And honestly, this stock, no love at all for basically
a year and a half, maybe
24 months plus. This high, if you've been sitting in here, this is January, I guess that's January 24. So that's kind of where the pain started. So now you're only in March of 25. So yeah, I guess, let's call it 15 months or so. You're having fun there. It goes all the way to the upside if you play that break. So you got to enjoy that. But then all of a sudden up here at 230 and change, now no one's having fun for sure.
I question if anyone was buying those. There was a point during some of those highs where I remember AMD at one point was trading at a higher PE than there was a brief period where it was trading a higher PE than Nvidia.
Yeah.
And it's everyone's why would that be happening? But I don't know. I have some AMD shares from 7 or 8 years ago that I'm just and I've made this comment before.
Right.
Being better at cleaning up positions. You buy a stock and you never sell it.
Yeah.
But sometimes a seed change does happen. There's an actual shift that makes you not want that stock anymore, even if it's in your long term. And you're just well, why wouldn't I get rid of it? And I still haven't. I didn't at those tops. I didn't. It doesn't really matter. It's not a very large portion of my portfolio. I probably own, I'd say, 1/12 of what I have in Nvidia is in AMD. But the principle of the matter is, what's at stake here? Palantir. I said I was looking at Palantir, but I didn't really go over it. This is Palantir since that bottom at 130 that the market made. It's been making this is why I'm watching it, very clean set of higher lows with a trend break. And I did not take a trend break when I was in the long at 89, and clearly that would have been a good decision. So this one, if it breaks this trend, I want to look short. So just on a 3-minute chart, there's a low. You can see it connecting those support levels. And Pare saying, is it pair? Well, it's probably pair and not I don't know why I'm saying pare. In the chat, Palantir, nice stairs up on a 2-minute. That's what I'm watching on this 3-minute. Only because I'm kind of favoring short. I want to look for the break of this trend line down here on Palantir. It is a strong stock, but because it's underneath VWAP, most of the reason it's up is the gap up and then not being able to hold the highs. Did have some success going long, 89s into that 90 level, but now I'm looking for that trend break here on Palantir to the downside. Still nothing happening on SMCI, although Nvidia is bouncing, which this might allow the short to come in on SMCI. Now that I look at this move on Nvidia, if this gets to VWAP, I think it should be able to drag us up on SMCI for me to get a reload. Might mean I don't get that Palantir trend break. Harry Agri saying Hood is making a move. Robinhood? Really? With crypto doing nothing? I don't know. Still right down at those lows. All the crypto stuff is just not getting off the schneid today.
No, like I said, like we had bought some more Cardano today, and that's it. So Bitcoin's at the level that we reloaded right now. So we have not much to do right there. All right, we'll exit the trade right here. What a successful one it was. And it will now be P&L number 1 will be the TQs. It actually took over Google today, which is, Cream, get the money.
Oh, there we go.
Bill, y'all.
We just have
We're listening to some, here we go. There's some Fire in the Booth. We got some Cream right here with Wu-Tang. So, Cash does rule everything. And Wu-Tang's coming back one last time right now. Okay, so there's the out there on AMD coming out right 99.80s and change. All right, so 100. All right, we're just gonna let it go, man. I have 15% left right now of this trade.
There's some headlines coming in.
There's some headlines coming in. Okay, let's go over to Mr. Dara.
We have the announcement we've been waiting for now for over an hour. Donald Trump announcing here that Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM, is going to make a $100 billion investment in the U.S. So that will be at least, according to Trump, $100 billion in new capital invested in the U.S. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I am watching this announcement right now. If I see anything of note or anything that moves the market, I will let you guys know. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. TSM moving up on that headline, which, I mean, I guess it got leaked that this was going to be what was talked about. So,
oh shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is one that's going to be going up. This is exactly where it was when it ran last time in the morning. So let's see if it can actually sustain the move here on TSM. I'm looking up. Okay, SMCI is not there at 38, but this is dragging Nvidia. Nvidia is now 117.5. So all of these are starting to break back out. This is not the one I want to fade. The news is the investment here for TSM. So that's not the one I'm going to look to fade on this move. We'll look over at SMCI. There is Nvidia at the 118 level. Just want to double check. AMD. AMD's getting really close to that breakdown spot from earlier, the 160 level. So those are the names I'm looking at for a bit of a rollover. We'll see if TSM can actually hold the bid above VWAP after last time it failed miserably doing so. Adara again?
So we have some more context here with regards to this TSM investment. Donald Trump saying that the total investment will be at least $165 billion now. So $165 billion total investment, according to Donald Trump, will be coming into the U.S. from TSM. He also said the company is going to be building 5 more chip factories in the U.S., with most of this $165 billion plus in funding going to Arizona. So Arizona plant being prioritized here with regards to this TSM investment, according to Trump and this announcement, guys. Back to you.
Okay, thank you for that, Adara. I mean, this is the thing about this. We talked about this over and over again. I mean, I'm really excited about moving forward. We're 30x days in to the presidency right now, and tomorrow's Tariff Tuesday, and it's going to be, I mean, hopefully it's, I mean, I'm like trying to convince the wife for Taco Tuesday. We talked about that, but new name right now, Tariff Tuesday coming tomorrow. We'll figure out what's going on with that one. What up, gangstas? Right now. Okay, so pulling back Intel, nice move. So Google, it's too bad that we're just this low right now into 169 again. We had busted this out into the 200 period, into the VWAP again before losing that low, and then boom, right down into 168 again. This forward, the PE, not even a forward PE, right now 17, I believe, is the PE off their most recent earnings report. So we'll have to wait to see if Google can get going forward. It might even be lower than that right now, but we'll double check it, but it doesn't really matter. Google getting absolutely crushed. Look at the daily on Google. It's like maybe 3 or 2 maybe up days since Feb 5th. So we basically go 8 2-18, something like that, right there. Hopefully that's not the start for the Blue Jays this year, but it's a nice move right down there into the downside, 165 and change right now. As the Raptors just keep on winning, like slow down, man. You're not going to get Cooper Flag now, my guy. Like you got to.
Forget about Flag. Let's forget about Cooper Flag because
we can still win it though.
We're so far away from that. No, you can win the lottery, but shut them down, open up shop.
Rough Riders anthem, let's go.
That's how
Rough Riders roll. All right, we're getting to the down.
Open that one up.
The market, the market is rolling right now to the downside. All right, what about Mara? We've seen some crypto names moving here today, so let's check out Mara, down to $14 right now. Oh man. When I'm in a good mood, sometimes
12 is free money. Isn't that?
Yeah, it's only 4. So I was going to say 4. Yeah, 12.
Is it 12? Is that the level?
Yeah, 12 is the daily level for sure, but I don't know if it's free money. I mean, we're at free money right now, maybe. If you like this low right here, this is 14. So 12 is the ultimate bottom, which would be great, but this might be worth it. Like, so what I think you want to do now is, if you do believe in crypto, I mean, we did have a nice move up into $16 today. Now the drop down. So if you take 14, you can get out at 12. So that's the thing. $2 worth of risk to get $2 back. All crypto would have to do is, or Bitcoin, I guess, would have to do is just basically go back to where we were at the beginning of the day, and you can get that $2. I don't think that's happening today, but just saying, like, if you hold against 12 on Mara and you do believe in BTC, then you probably get 16, and you can get it tomorrow or the next day if this bounces, if the news is good. We say ifs, but I no one really knows where anything's going. So I like Mara down here, $14 bid. I think that's worth it coming right in again to that level. So we'll have to maybe hold off on that for right now. We can check out Netflix. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to claim ignorance here. What's some movie called Aurora or something? I don't know what wound up Anova.
I had to look it up.
What? Yeah, I don't know what it is. So I just...
It's Anora. It's
Anora, okay.
Anora. I know it has something to do with a Russian oligarch, and I feel like that's the reason it won. I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen a trailer for it. It's some kind of a romance, and there's a Russian oligarch in it. That's what I know about Anora.
All right. Well, I was thinking about maybe someone could tell me what
where streaming service you can watch it.
Not just streaming, but like who produced it. Like, because I know Netflix has never won Best Picture. I know Apple did at one point. So I was just going to see who exactly produced that, or what film studio was with that. Because I also wanted to look, because I also thought Disney, off some of the lows as well, could be a play, as their direct-to-consumer seems to be working out. And again, with more and more focus now on live, what do they call it? Not live animation, or what do they call those live movies now? Live action movies. Now there's a spot for them. Apparently the Academy has also put a spot there for Best Picture for live action, and I know Disney has a bunch of them as well. So Anora, great movie, says Tyrionnaire. Oh, we've had him before. This is not the same one. Tyrionnaire. That's from
Game of Thrones.
Thing that I didn't see. Game of Thrones.
I still think you'd like it, but
yeah, we're trying to work our way through the first season of Severance, and then I'm watching Shoresy. I like Shoresy, but honestly, the season 4 is not as good as the other seasons. IMO. Because Sud Vegas is not really a thing. I've been to Sudbury before. I don't see those parties, but I mean, I don't know. Okay, what's up, Adara?
We have comments coming out now here too from, I believe, Howard Lutnick, which is the Commerce Secretary here for the administration, saying, come to America and build. It's really the message they're trying to do right now. But also, TSM CEO was just saying here that he wanted to thank Apple, Nvidia, Qualcomm, and Broadcom amongst the customers in the U.S. So please keep an eye on the market here. We're trying to make these higher highs, higher lows off the bottom as we continue to have comments from this Trump and TSM announcement. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, see, I didn't know the name Coda, which won Best Picture.
In 2022?
No,
I've never even heard of this. Like, who's?
Come on, man. I mean, it won Best Picture, bro. You've heard of it before?
Seriously, I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 years, you're never going to hear of Anora either, so I don't really know.
There's the one I never.
Right now,
Parasite's the one I wish.
Parasite's a good one. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. I got to watch that, because that I knew, and lots of people have mentioned it was good. Back to the market for a quick little second. Roll back into SMCI. It's back at the lows of the day because the market is weak. Palantir is breaking trend as we speak. It just lost $87 here on PLTR. Whoops, that's still the SMCI chart. Palantir just lost the trend line and $87. trying to get short there, give it to the prior bar high, and add to the list of things that we want to be short for sure. So I still haven't got filled, sitting in the low 90s here. See if I can't get picked up. But the market, it just continues to go lower. So even when you get out, just short the next available pop in the stock that you like, and you should be good to go. Let's go back
Breaking
over
news.
to...
Let's go.
We got some breaking news again.
Breaking news.
Trump just invoked Intel. So basically what he said here during these comments is TSM is going to now come here, build in the U.S. Now we're hoping to come back to having a lot of chips built in the U.S. We used to have with Intel, but now we don't. So basically implying that Intel's drop-off is the reason we're seeing a decrease of chips built in the U.S. Again, there's no statistical backing. These are just comments coming from Donald Trump. Regardless, this mention of Intel sends the stock to days low. So INTC getting invoked by Trump and not in a positive way. I will keep an eye on this. Apparently, they're now doing a Q&A, so I'll let you guys know if anything of note is said. Back to you.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that some things of note will get said during a Q&A with the president.
Man, yeah, I would say. Oh shit! This is a New York mix here by Fire in the Booth here, Charlie Sloth. This is crazy on Apple Music. You guys should go listen to it if you like New York East Coast hip hop. All right, 99.50 right now. They're playing Nas's Like right now. 99.50. I mean, this has really been again a great opportunity to short ahead of 100, but in front of, like, we're short above it, but again, we just played that bump. The main reason here is to go short right here on advanced micro devices. So again, a big move coming back in for AMD. We're going to cover it. It's basically at the lows right now, and we just should have reloaded it there. We didn't. Okay, that's where the mistake lies right there for sure. All right, what's Roblox doing? I mean, I like Roblox. I think there's some like collateral damage happening, obviously, in many different names as we worry right now about can Nvidia, because like if Nvidia loses, we can go over that. I'm not worried about Apple. Google's obviously been bad. Meta's starting to go under. We looked at Netflix. That's under $1,000 as well. So, Roblox, again, not worried. We're at the 50-period moving average. I mean, many names at 50-period moving averages are buys, but there's many also at the 200-period right now. So,
whoa. What the heck was that?
Okay, Neil, with the emotional whoa there, what's going on? The only whoa that I know is Black Rob, you know what I mean? Whoa.
Well, I'm just getting a lot of stickies. So the bid's dropping right now, and there's a lot of, so stickies are when you have a level 2 and like, okay, so like Palantir's trading at 86.4, but I saw a couple of bids
happening.
that
The
are 50.
Qs are
yeah, like
cranked.
you see what's just happening here. We just lost the bid on multiple names
Look
here.
at AMD.
So we're absolutely flushing. Tesla's at low of the day. Palantir's about to get to it. SMCI, which we just grabbed. So both the shorts that we just took, both just went 50 cents in the money.
Nice.
In a heartbeat. Let's go to the desk because maybe there's something got said by Trump. I'm gonna say that's very likely.
Oh shit.
Trump mentioning tariffs right now here during this TSM Q&A, saying they're going to be starting in Canada and Mexico on April 2nd, 25% tariffs for both countries. Then we're going to be having these reciprocal tariffs announced on April 2nd. He wanted to do April 1st, but didn't because of April Fool's Day. So April 2nd, we will be getting this tariff announcement from Donald Trump. For the reciprocal side of things, the non-reciprocal tariffs are 25% for Canada and Mexico take place tomorrow. So Tariff Tuesday, as discussed yesterday, looks like it is coming to pass. Back to you.
Well, it's just Monday.
It's not Tariff Tuesday no more.
Yeah, it's tariff everything. Tariffs.
Come on,
you get a tariff. You get a tariff. Everybody gets a tariff.
AMD get a tariff.
And we get the aftermarket. We get the afternoon shot. I mean, it is what it is. Trump seems to just want to tank the markets. Look, the low of the day on Palantir was 86. So it bounced off 86 the first time. It bounced off 86 just now. I'm seeing bids just step up here. Well, maybe they're not. I'm seeing bids step up off the 86 level, so we grabbed the mean reversion short into the low of the day. So in and out, and now we're just going to be in SMCI as that breaks the low as well. So both SMCI, I'll show you guys this chart, and Palantir. That's Palantir. This is SMCI breaking down the lows through 37. Wanted to get even more, but as far as I'm concerned, you just got to hold on. Every single pop until proven otherwise, we're going to short. So let's find something else. Both those last two worked, and we'll see what else we can find for you in terms of finding some shorts in this market, because we're just bleeding here. We're bleeding. It is what it is.
Oh, shit.
Tesla 284. Yuck, Tesla.
This music is getting me too hyped. And we now have Annie Up going on. MOP is now in the building now. Oh, man. We are now kidnapped that stock because right now the whole market getting kidnapped right now. Annie Up, AMD, down to $99 right now. Oh, boy. We just tweeted it out. Go follow your boy at Trader TV. Oh, yeah, I was looking at this right here. We'll talk about some of the results right here. These are our picks for the year right now. GEV, IBM, XLF. We've got Palantir. We're going to have to update that Coinbase right here as that's getting to the downside. Whoops. And then the diamonds. We had UNG, ASML, Bitcoin right there. Bitcoin's up since we talked about it. Well, not since of today, but yeah, we have Bitcoin. We like Bitcoin as well. That's Coinbase. There's Joe's Tesla. Meta to the upside as well. Adara likes Eli Lilly. Nice move coming in. Shout out to we'll just say at this one, at Trader TV Research, as Adara's been running that right there. Here's AMD, guys. Let's go. So nice little play there. We've been tweeting all about AMD. We tweeted about the TQs as well much before this. This is one of the best things I've seen in a long time. Go to my Twitter right now and find this out. This kid he says apparently this, and it is so cute. It's awesome. I really like this one. It's probably like, I don't know how old this thing is, 10 years ago. This is hilarious. Go find it on my Twitter right now. Kid says apparently. He's like, apparently it's my first time on TV. It's really hilarious.
It's cute when kids find a new word.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
I've never seen it. Obi sent it. I told Obi to send me all the funny things, and he's been sending me some new memes. So, yeah, I'm old. So, damn, Daniel, can anyone stop this market from dirtying up these nice white vans, Adara?
I don't know, but I mean, I will tell you what's happening right now from this Q&A with Donald Trump. Trump saying that tariffs on foreign vehicle makers will, quote, only go up. So Ford here taking a dive here to low of days. Again, apparently these foreign vehicle maker tariffs will, quote, only go up. Back to you.
Ones now?
Apparently there's some... What is he? Oh, for a second I thought I heard like peanuts and like...
This is starting... This music is going to make me use more shares. I better stop this immediately. But anyways, go ahead. What's going on with SMCI? You had some great shorts. My shorts are from the beginning of the day.
It's tanking. No, this market is not. It's not good. It's not good. Like it's more fun when stocks go up. I get it, everybody. I would love to be able to look for a stock that has some strength, and I have like checked a couple of charts. I'm not seeing anything. I don't see any big cappers or small cappers that are running for you. I just want to short the pot somewhere else. Maybe find another breakdown trade. Like I'm looking over. Like, look at Intel when it lost its little bit of a trend. Like, there's the higher low. You could have taken that break there. So Palantir was good, but Intel, you could make an argument, was even better. Intel's now down 1.6% after that positive headline this morning.
That's
so it
bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just had good news, and you just wicked and lost the 200 period. Ooh, that's not good at all, actually. The daily chart looks even worse here. That wick on Intel. Not a huge fan of it. I mean, it's still above the 50 period, I guess. And then, anyone that was buying in those really low 20s, like you're still in the money. But that's not a very good-looking daily candle that we're going to close underneath. I feel pretty safe saying we're going to close underneath it because I don't have that much hope that the market's going to make that rally. And you know what makes me feel even worse about the market doing a really, really big rally late? Is because think of how big the market rally was on that window dressing at MSCI on Friday. That was a lot of buying that might have just got used up that would normally be potentially here on a bloodbath kind of day. So I'm looking for something else to short the pop on or short a breakdown. I haven't found it yet, but we're going to keep hunting for names that haven't really gone that full move down and you can try to catch. Yeah, looking pretty nasty down here for pretty much everything.
Like, now the song I'm listening to is Slam by Onyx, and like that's exactly what's happening to the market right now as it's getting killed. Now I got LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out. Like, it's almost like it's listening to the market right here. The market is getting that knockout blow right now. Here's the triple Qs coming through, down now into $500 one more time. Like, I don't, what was that?
Defeat him and mistreat him.
Oh, is that one of the lines in that? Yeah, okay, I'm missing. Don't ever compare right now. It's crazy. Anyways, I shouldn't listen to music, but I will stop talking about it. Okay, this is Mara. What am I doing? I don't want Mara. I want to look at the daily for the triple Qs here. Yeah, so we talked about the 200 period coming into play for the NASDAQ, and that looks like that will be bounced off on Friday, retesting right now. If we can zoom in here just a little bit. Where's my zoom? Zoom. There it is right here. Let's just zoom in just to have a quick little look. So right there, I want you to know. We got a little Jay-Z coming through now. 500. So this shelf is right here at 5 bills, man. When we broke it, we went down to 496 and change there on Friday. So $4 downside move. You're getting into 500 right now for the NASDAQ. So yeah, man, it's getting to be a little spicy here on the daily for the NQs. Let me just check out my guy Warren here just real quickly here because, okay, Berkshire's still down at 1% right now. Is he sitting on cash? Where's the next buy, Uncle? Because we need to figure that out. Right now, I'm invested pretty good in Berkshire, so we'll have to wait to see if that's doing anything. And then, of course, the diamonds has been what I've been trying to buy as well, along with, of course, the NASDAQ. The S&P 500, but I do like the diamonds, but they're getting hit today. You know, most recent addition to the diamonds, or to the Dow, of course, Nvidia. So, yeah, not having a great day here for Nvidia. You said, did you want to do something, Neil, there before I threw it?
Sorry, I heard a really good, before we go to Adara,
Yeah.
I heard a really good theory about the cash position of Warren Buffett, that he might be building cash because it's part of like a succession plan, like so that the next person,
it's like hand over, you make the decision.
Like all these oversized positions, he's just selling them off so that the next person can make some more decisions. That's not a bad theory and would explain why he hasn't been dip buying much of anything. Let's go over to Adara.
Just keep an eye here on this market. We had a little bit of another drop here in the NASDAQ to new day's lows below that $500 level for the QQQs. Donald Trump, when asked during this TSM announcement Q&A, said that there's no room for Canada and Mexico to negotiate. So these 25% tariffs will be going into effect tomorrow. There's no negotiation room left for Canada or Mexico. So tariff updates here for Donald Trump as this market continues to drop. We're almost at $4.99, guys. Back to you.
It's a $1 and a $2 winner right now on AMD. And again, I'm just glad that we had talked about AMD because when we came to you guys before, we're going to say what's up to Rando Brando here. But I had said like AMD is, it looks that dramatic? Okay. We tweeted this out a long time ago and we had brought you this right at 2 o'clock, man, right into these levels. So, I mean, Neil's put on recent positions with SMCI and what was the other one you had short? Something else? But anyways, Palantir. So both of these, both worked, right? Palantir went down, didn't it? Yeah, okay. So I was just going to say, because right here, this is a good question by Rand. Sorry, I don't know if it's a question or not. Sure, it's funny how every stock crashes at the same time every day. Well, that's what I'm doing. That's why we're short. We've identified some of these patterns, man. I mean, and that's what trading's about, is about identifying patterns, putting the best risk, the best chance for success into your blotter and then taking it. So thank you, Rando Brando, for that one. We'll give you props for identifying that as well. But I'm sure it's nothing though, right? It's something. And I know you're just saying that tongue in cheek, but yeah, it's the president of the United States of America. We had that run-in with Zelensky there. That sort of happened midday. He talks in the Oval Office at these times. And then that's when the press, some of the news starts hitting. And yeah, tariff talk hits. And he's not messing around, whether or not it's make America great again or just trying to figure out this trade war with apparently every single country right now. That it's like, I don't mean this way, but it's like basically guns a-blazing. Like he's out there firing now.
That's exactly what.
Yeah, like at every country, like no one's spared right now.
Actually, the only country
I'm fine with it.
The large country spared is Britain. England does not. I think England's the only.
But he's tariffing the EU, so does England?
Yeah, because they're out, right? So because they Brexited. Then I think that's why they're getting.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, so this is what I mean. There's like
they'll catch it straight.
Basically, there's like checkers and chess being played by different countries, and I'm pretty sure Donald's playing checkers, and he's gonna. But wait a minute, Adara, that you mentioned April 2nd for tariffs. Does that mean that tomorrow? Because it was supposed.
Come to me, please.
We will. Yeah, I think Adara's mic is live, by the way. So we will be going to Adara in a minute, but it was March 4th, so tomorrow was the tariff talk for Canada, but then. I did hear that as I have some Fujis in my ear. So let's go back to Adara and figure out, are we ready?
Yes.
Andre? Okay, well, let's go back over to Adara and figure out this story maybe a bit more.
I think basically just to clarify, because there's a lot of Trump news happening right now. Donald Trump was asked, is there any room for negotiation for Canada or Mexico? Donald Trump said no. The tariffs will, in fact, be going into effect tomorrow, March 4th, 2025. Earlier in this press conference, he said that the reciprocal tariffs are going to be happening on April 4th. So just to recap, April 2nd. So March 4th for the tariffs, April 2nd for reciprocal tariffs. Apologize for the confusion. March 4th, tomorrow, tariffs will be going into effect. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs, according to Trump. Guys, back to you.
Okay, so I think that that makes sense. So more tariffs coming. So we will get Tariff Tuesday tomorrow. So that's fine. Like we need to make that shirt.
The reciprocal tariffs are like the tricky one because it's like it seems relatively easy to be like, okay, this country gets 20% and you get 10%. But the reciprocal one, you have to look at pretty much everything that they are putting the tariff on, and then they just individually make these like that's incredibly complex. So I feel like that's going to be a very odd and awkward, long laundry list of tariffs that we're going to end up seeing, and not as simple as the 20% here or there, and then making analyzing it difficult. Just very quickly, if we break the trend down, then I'm going to jump out on SMCI. Right now, it's like 36.8, where this would be going.
I just heard Argentina now. Argentina in the right there.
Argentina.
Get ready, Argentina.
Headlines about Argentina. You got
Argentina. You know, Lionel Messi was not enough. You know, you should have. You know, you got to watch out right now. But
my daughter hates Messi for the only reason that she likes Ronaldo, and she's never even seen Ronaldo play. It's just everyone else thinks he's cool. Let's go right back to Adara.
Ronaldo? No, Messi's the best.
Donald Trump was just asked, how high will you go with China tariffs? And he said, it depends. So we really do not have a stop in terms of how high these China tariffs could go. He also said that he will be penalizing countries that are weakening currencies with tariffs. So if there are any currency-related concerns, I guess, for these countries, for Donald Trump in the U.S., the countries that he believes are causing these issues are going to be facing tariffs. So tariffs here for penalization from Donald Trump being announced. FXI near day's lows, as we do have that news that China could have tariffs, I guess, of any indeterminate amount of height, depending on, I guess, how they act here. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, and again, thank you. But this is, like I was just saying, days like today, they make you feel like, oh, there should be something that I'm dip buying, but everything looks pretty ugly. With the exception of last week, I remember last week we ended off the week saying we hadn't gone into correction. We hadn't done the 10% on the Qs. Well, that top is 541, which by my math means we are like a day away from that 10% on the triple Q or the NASDAQ, whatever. Just happen to have the Qs up because it's a little easier to look at that. So I think you are going to get this. We're going to go 10% down. We're going to get the 200 period on the Qs. And if we get there on the SPY, which is where I probably should have gone here, yeah, I think I'm gonna throw the next DCA.
Oh my God!
The next DCA for me on an index is gonna be the SPY. I think. So I'm kind of looking at this one. Load up. Where's my 200 period? Come on, load. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. A little bit further. That 570 level. So in here, I think that's the next step dip buy for me. On the indexes. I usually buy them at least every quarter and sometimes every month. Yeah, I'm going to be picking some up. Not today. Let's let it settle down a bit. Let's go back to Adara. Trails in on SMCI, looking for something that's not shorting the lows to go short in. Still haven't found it. Adara again?
The Trump conference just ended on a very dramatic note, so we were having a lot of questions here, even though, again, I want to mention that this announcement was supposed to be just about TSM's investment. We had a Q&A, though, and Donald Trump basically said, he was asked a lot about tariffs. He said that further China tariffs will depend on retaliations, but he said that he doesn't think China will retaliate too much. He was asked then, has he been able to speak with President Xi of China? And Trump said, I don't want to tell you that, that's all. So he ends the conference basically not really answering some questions on China. So we're unclear if he's even spoken to Xi about these tariff concerns. Regardless, interesting note on which to end the conference, and be aware this conference is now over. Back to you.
It's over right now. Yeah, look, so we covered some more of AMD right here. We have about 10%, a little bit less than 10% left now. And I'm looking at this right now, right here, right now, 98.50. So if we break above 98.50, let's get half of what we have left. Ring the register on $2 and then call it a day. And then just hold to see if something does come at the end. We got some Naughty by Nature now. So Hip Hop Parade, pretty classic song. Right there, everything is falling down, man. I mean, I'm debating right now taking even a long maybe in the market. I mean, it seems, forget it. I was going to think about
OPP is better than hip hop.
AMD just went, this is hip hop, right? Yeah, OPP, yeah, I mean, that's a good one.
It's better.
All right, so right down into there, 98. I like, no, there's another one. That's one let's do now. There's another one. All right, so
flow.
we just got hit there at 98. Right there. So that's $2.40. So nice little downside push happening right now on the broader market. And obviously with the stock that we're involved in right now, Advanced Micro Devices. So just destructed right here, downside. Look how silly this looks. There's our out of our last 5% on the TQs when it broke that level. Yeah, that's about $2.50 ago. So that's 200 handles ago. Just straight pressure right now. We are looking at the NASDAQ. It was down 0.67. Remember, I was like 0.2%. Not bad, not bad. Now, bad as the market continues to make new lows. So, tariff talk, all of this stuff, man, not great. Trump in our ear right here. You know, sights set on Argentina now, so we'll wait to see what winds up happening there. But at the end of the day, man, nobody going to be spared, apparently. There might be some sparring that happens right now. And I don't know if I'd want to get in the ring because there's just a beatdown happening right now. This is like UFC style where you go into the ring, you get paid a couple $1 million and you can't even thinking about 10 years from now. But right here, hopefully this will settle down. Watch out for 284.50. I don't know, Tesla, nice drip. Where do we stop on this name? I mean, Randy was over here saying, we got the bottom. No, Stone Cold says, right now, because this ain't no bottom. Yo, Randy, where are you at, man? You need to just come in here and start like supporting your low here.
240 maybe?
Randy was like, we got it, man. We nailed this thing. And I'm not just saying this to Randy. I'm saying it to everybody because even to me, we love 200. It was all a dream. Right down here, 284, 285. Like, oh no. The Canadian foreign minister says, oh, we're ready. That's all that it was. So Canadian foreign minister says, we are ready for these tariffs. So there.
Seriously?
So there.
That's the best we can do.
Right now, we ready, Neil. So get ready, man. We might need some protection. I like Donald Trump's like, oh, are you guys ready for those Russian ships to come and invade like northern Canada? You know, if you don't have our protection, I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on right now. This seems wild to me. Yeah, my wife hates this talk because it's just like it's nuts. And I just don't know what to think about all this. But, I mean, Tesla down into those levels right now of 280 again. So if you liked it at $3 about an hour ago, you definitely like it down here at 280. Yeah, President Trump right now comments on tariffs. Oh, boy. $2.70 now in the money as AMD just continues to bleed, man. And again, we've got some shares on board, so we're able to take multiple outs on the way down here for AMD. So can you smell what the orange man is cooking? Yeah, I was at Elimination Chamber. That was huge. They were booing that's just, like at Leaf games and stuff like that. Sometimes there's some booing of obviously the U.S. anthem there, but I don't even know. We got some big pun in our ears, so shout out to Puerto Rico and everybody right here as we continue to go down. But
the greatest.
You know, I'm not a player. We just crushed the market a lot.
What's the other one?
And right now,
in the middle of little
that's fast.
Riddle some middlemen who didn't do diddly. That's one of those joints, man. What was the name of that song again? I don't even know the name of the song.
But there it is. Still not a player. Yeah, the one you're talking about is.
I hate getting old because I should know the name of that song, man.
Yeah, so this just keeps on. Wow, we are lighting the lamp. I mean, I hope my daughter can do that tonight as, Etobicoke Dolphins playing Leaside Wildcats or something like that. So anyways, we'll figure that out right now. But as we go to the downside, it's a destructed move here today.
Nvidia just broke 114. Nvidia is now 50 cents away from the DeepSeek low on Nvidia. So if you can find something else to show, I'm just hanging on to one. Wish we had held on to Palantir. We held on SMCI instead. Palantir broke 85. It's down to 84. So Friday's highs are gone.
What is happening?
The 50 period's gone, which Palantir was over for a lot of today. Like, you're really starting to pull back. Like, you thought you found the lows on a bunch of these stocks. This is not split adjusted. But it's not the split. It's from the time it went to the NASDAQ. But yeah, these bottoms are starting to come in. Nvidia looks like it's a stock coming into the biggest level, though. And that's that 113 deep-seek low on Nvidia. If there is a reversion to be played, maybe right before the imbalances, Nvidia 113 could be it. But I'm leaving the trail in. I'll probably move it. Once we break the low of the day again, which will happen in 3 cents on SMCI, I'm going to move the trail on that stock and maybe look for this 113 revision or even potential SSR bounce on Nvidia. Nvidia could go 10% down today. Just realized that. Sheesh. Let's go to Adara, I believe, again.
Oh, my.
Nope, never mind. For some reason, I thought we were, but 10% down will be it'll be underneath 113. So it has to break the 113 to get 10% down. Wow. If you thought we were going to be SSR on Nvidia at the beginning of the day today, then I don't know. I don't believe you.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of kind of like the same thing here. Like, what exactly are we even looking at with this market move to the downside? I mean, I believe, it's what I believe. Nvidia, this is going. This is. I believe I can fly. Yeah, I mean, it depends on. Some people talked about, a lot of people believe they can do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, Nvidia down another 9%. Just looking, I can't look at the daily chart on our charts, but we can, whoops. Oh, I just closed it. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just call this up, then I'll just change this 30-minute chart into a daily chart for Nvidia because I just closed it on eSignal. I just got to open it back up, but just give me a second here as we go. So just looking at what we're talking about here, this is into a level now, right? I mean, is this not? Would you take a look at that? I mean, right into here, this could be that short. If it breaks 113.50, there really isn't much until 105. Right now, that is 113.50. So how close are we to that level? Oh my! On Nvidia, we are right there. This is due for a zoom. Just real quick, let me just see what exactly that level is right there. Okay, no, so it's one. All right, so it's basically it's not 113.50. It's 113. It's just 113 flat. 112.95. Oh boy, right now, Grandmaster Flash Nefarious 5 right now, the message. Okay, so I'm a little bit nervous about that play. I think we'll try it though. We're right now, we're into Nvidia, we're into AMD, but maybe looking to get into Nvidia. But we just had a nice little bounce off of that 97.75 right now. So we're gonna have to watch out right here for a nice little bounce back. But yeah, that Nvidia level, watch out for 113. Is it worth a long though? Maybe. Give yourselves $1 if there's some sort of a pushback in this market. Maybe you get it. So I'm not trying to hate on any of this. Bitcoin 86 and change.
Why is Oxy down 5%?
Oh, I don't know. Is that one of those things that Canada's importing a lot into the States, or is that just fentanyl?
Well, yeah. Why is Oxy? I don't know. But Oxy, man, everything's getting its butt kicked today. So I just trailed out of SMCI. Yeah, I'm not sure why it would be this bad on Occidental. Just looking at the daily chart, because Oxy's been bouncing off 45, 46, and now it's at a level. It's not a good-looking trend, but I guess if you like the stock, then you should be buying it down at that support. Yeah. So I just trailed out of SMCI as it just broke the consolidation. So every single pop since 39, I've been looking for the rollover, except for this one at 120. Not sure what I was doing at that time, but and maybe we get one more salvo on this before we get to 340 in the imbalances. So prior low was 37.20, 20 or 25. Pop into there. See if you can't get one more short the pop on SMCI. Getting bled everything else is getting bled. At some point, it's like, how much can we say? This stock is weak and this stock looks bad. And
yeah, I mean,
they all look the same. So next pop, I'm looking for maybe 37.20 on SMCI, but we're out of it. And let's go back to Adara.
In addition to other just ongoing oil-related moves, we know we always have gas and oil-related plays on watch with geopolitical tensions and, of course, these tariff situations. There actually is a catalyst with Occidental, but it came out pre-market. So around 7 a.m., the company had basically announced this offer to exercise warrants at a temporarily reduced price. So warrant holders can exercise these warrants at a temporarily reduced price. This is the only catalyst that I'm seeing for the stock today. So unaware if this is the reason for the move, but worth noting, this is a catalyst on watch for it, guys. Back to you.
Hey, what up, everybody? Thank you, Michelle, everybody there in the chat that's jamming out with me. We've got some Tribe Called Quest going on right now. All right, so I'm going to try to play off of 113. We just, we looked at that level. We're going to try it. I'm bidding right now 113.21. Now, remember, it could easily break that 113. I'm giving it to 112.50. So let's just wait to see what happens. Let's be as patient as possible. We did find that level there on Nvidia down on the daily chart of a break of 112.95. So if it breaks, so we're going long in the 20s here, so we're 30 cents away from another long, but we're almost $3 in the money and really printing right now. I mean, there's been a lot of good trading opportunities today. That is for sure, as we've talked about them over and over again. But, we got to just be careful with taking longs and holding on to them. So if you're wrong, that's where you have that plan of action. And I just think it's important that we understand, what we're talking about. It's not like we have to be flat at 4 o'clock and or like 4:15-ish. So it's whatever I'm doing now is getting out. Thank you, Roland Joe. I don't know if I look 18 again, but definitely we shaved it up there. It was just like, Marissa was like, and she was like, "Oh man, you're too scruffy." I'm like, "That's it, off." Right there, we got that off. So we scrapped that. So all right, I don't, I know we're talking all about tech names. Let me check out something else. I know there's been some traders around here looking to buy Walmart on dips, but that's not even really. I was thinking that 92 level that maybe we thought might come into play. That's not even close, but there's a nice little dip. So if you're looking to do some damage on, Walmart. I like these levels. There's 92. We bring it up, it's cherry picking. 92 is really low. There's no doubt about that. So I'm not sure 92 is the right level, but at the end of the day, maybe 95 coming back in there. You could look at a Costco or something. As many of these names, again, sure there will be some tariff, pushback on this, but you could see Costco and Walmart, big American companies, again, their supply chain is pretty locked in there. So I'm not super worried about any of that kind of a play. I only own Costco shares. I don't own Walmart, but again, really like both of those, as opposed to a Target, which actually missed on their earnings. And I'm not sure if we've battled back from that or not, but Target, yeah, almost a complete oppo right now as you get Walmart and some of those other names where they are, and then you look and see like sort of what's been going on with Target right there at the lows. So I'm not, do your own work there, but it looks like Target definitely having more issues than the other two, and I think it's inventory based, just can't get rid of some of the old stuff. And then a lot of Walmart's talk is the grocery. It's kind of like a all-one stop and shop. We don't have Target over here. Target tried to come to Canada, and it was just too expensive. So
I thought it was,
no, I thought it was great. It was one of the worst days of my wife's life there when we lost Target. But at the end of the day, Target gone now, down 2.5%. So watch out now. And your boy is in it right here. So let's just go. Travolta's like, "Are you serious? You are actually serious about?" Oh, there's one that needs to get fixed.
Whoa, what
the Travolta one needs to be fixed.
Yeah, that's not good.
But at the end of the day right here, we're long Nvidia. We're long against 112.50. So this has to go back upside. We're not going to do anything until it breaks 113. Then we'll react to that. But here it comes right now. Just absolutely tanking. $3 in the money with AMD, but just dancing right now with Nvidia. Let's see what happens. Wow. Decent size right there on the level too. I cannot believe that we're out of that Q's trade. But yeah, we are. So let's wait to see what happens right now. We're waiting for 112.50 to bust on Nvidia, which it most likely will. This isn't, it's not embarrassing. We had less than 5% left. But that out right there, man, we'd feel pretty happy with ourselves if we were still short 75 right now, but we're not. All right, man, Nvidia, we're loaded. We're not loaded, but there's the drip down through 112, through 113. Here we go, man. SSR bounce.
112.43.
Yeah, okay, well, my stop is down there breaking through 112.50, so we won't be part of that. Let's see what happens right now as we're trying to battle with Nvidia. 30 more cents, and we flying out of this one. What up, eh?
Here, Target actually hasn't reported yet. They're scheduled to report tomorrow before the bell, 6:30 a.m. We're looking for revenue of $30.73 billion, earnings of $2.25 per share. That revenue would actually represent, though, a drop of 2.3% on a year-over-year basis. Best Buy also reporting tomorrow morning, as is SE or C Limited. That's a Singaporean ADR, certainly one to move. AutoZone reporting as well. So a couple names on watch tomorrow morning for earnings. Back to you.
Just real quick, I'll throw it back to Neil. I know everyone's tired of me, but all right. So we are right now into Nvidia, obviously, and I just want to talk about what we've been doing. So I just got some out there at 90, like 95s and some O's, but it's gonna break that 112.50. I was expecting a much bigger bounce off of that 113 level. I thought we could crack in then rip up. That is not happening. So we are exiting stage left immediately when this breaks 112.50, and looks like it might happen soon. So I'm going to get out actually some more right here into the 80s. If it goes fine, we'll have some positions on, but right now we only have 75% of this position left as Nvidia looking a little dangerous here. We're going to get some more out in the 90s if we can, but yeah, looking like it wants to break. Right there we go. We got some more 75s. Looking like it wants to break down Nvidia. We're out very, very soon on this play. See you later, Nvidia. Does not hold it. We did good getting some out there, but at the end of the day, this looks like this will be an L as it's trying to break right now back down below 112.50. And there it goes. If I get out at well, we got a great price, but if I get out at the bottom, fine by me. I don't know where the bottom is. So we're just going to do what we do and scalp out of that one. Take an L on it, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're fine, but we just tried it. SSR. Yeah, we tried it there. So it's SSR right now. So watch out here for NVDA.
Yeah, it just went short sell restricted on Nvidia. So I don't know why I didn't wait until it actually went SSR. The new low of the day is 28. So it just tried to get back above 50. If it breaks the fresh low by even 1 cent, not giving it any extra room than that, it's either a 10% down bounce here or none at all. I mean, I could show you a chart of why we should still be in the short of Palantir SMCI, but suffice to say we should still be in those shorts. The market is still going down. We're now 2.5% to the downside on the NASDAQ, and the ES is now 2% down, which we see the NASDAQ down too, but you don't see the ES or the S&P 500 futures very often there. The second it gets to 70s, you can just see them start to sell. Orders start to come in there on the offer. So it's not really even bouncing 20 cents or so. If we get anywhere near 13, going to take some out and then play it back into this 114 area. It's just an SSR bounce play down 10%. You don't see it very often on a stock like Nvidia, but I feel like every time, you don't see stocks like this go SSR very often and it's not earnings. I've been saying that a heck of a lot more than we usually do because SMCI is down over 11% today. Tesla recently did it. Nvidia has now done it again. And remember, everybody, Nvidia is going to be SSR tomorrow, too. And a lot of times that bounce is much better the day after things have settled down than trying to catch it the day that everything is bleeding, which is right now. So yeah. I just got filled at 88. Let's see if it can do any better than that by breaking 13s here. With only about 20 minutes until we get the imbalances, I wouldn't be surprised if you had... Yeah, usually on a down day like today, I'd say maybe you get some buy imbalances, but the fact there are all those big, massive buy imbalances on the tech stocks on Friday, I don't know if you'll see that again. So I'm not even sure we'll get some buy imbalances for the shorts to take profit here. Let's see if this one bounce play on Nvidia can work. It's trying to break through 113, but there's just stacked offers, 10, 20, 30,000 every 5 cents from 90, 95 and the 113 level.
Ugh.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, let's see if it holds. I mean, good trade there to grab that bottom. But so we just got 97.50 there, man. I don't even, AMD definitely not having any bounce love. I mean, we were trading this thing when it was up on the day. Now it's not even thinking about being up on the day. So that is for sure. Look, man, today will be a big day, man. Will be a trophy day. We did real good on Google. We did AMD was fantastic. TQ, despite getting out there, this is still my #1 stock on the day here for the TQs, and that sucks. But huge move to the downside. Just trying to find out again if we look at the TQQs and some of the things that we've been talking about, where do we find a bouncing spot here for the Nasdaq? Well, you're maybe coming into one right here. This goes all the way back to Halloween, actually. I didn't even realize that. But there's October 30, 31st, right here, 69.50. So you've given everything back and more here on the TQQs. So again, a very, very dangerous spot to be thinking about any longs, but you could get a relief bounce. I don't know. It's not great that this is happening at the beginning of the week, that's for sure. So we'll just have to wait to see as, the market getting a little more nasty to the downside as this day continues. So, all right, down 2.5% over here. What is the financials doing? We can take a quick look at JP Morgan today. Robinhood was up 9% at one point. I'm assuming it's not up now, but it could be.
I think that's a decent assumption.
Yeah, I think that's probably a decent assumption. But JP Morgan, wow, huge move downside on JPM as well as some of these names
got to be getting destroyed.
Yeah, they cannot be able to figure themselves out as some of the. Well, XLF was up at one point today. Now down
not
again.
Anymore, man.
No, it's gonna be hard for anything to be down to be up.
You know what?
Today, you'll see the market recap.
I just peeked at a weekly chart of AMD. It looks so bad on this weekly chart. And usually I'm looking at that channel on the daily chart. But you are now at the last line of support, like the first line of support underneath that $100 level at 94. Like if it loses that, like where is the bottom here? 73 next, maybe? Like there might actually be a point where it's just so bad. Like AMD puts in one of those Intel levels where it's like the sellers are like, yeah, we're done, man. We're not selling anymore. And it catches a bid. AMD could easily be getting into that territory. If it holds underneath this 100 and you get another like 15, 20% down, it's got to be a go zone somewhere. Not that I want to get out in front of that thing. So you're trying to go SSR bounce on Nvidia. Like it just battled through the 113 to just go the quarter. If you get to 114, great. But I want to be out of this by the time we get to the imbalances on I almost said advanced money destroyer, on Nvidia here. If you're looking at, there's so many names that are running, and we're talking about how I said how Amazon's chart looked like everybody else. Like Amazon, great company. I think there's nothing wrong with it, but you just got back down to last week's low as well. This is another 200 period moving average stock in about a day if it does this again. So about to break some potential double bottoms here on AMZN. Again, only went long Nvidia because of the SSR balance. Was really looking to get back into a short on SMCI, to be honest with you, but there might be one more chance. Like I trailed out of it thinking maybe you'd get back to 37.20 or something and just didn't happen. Might be one more chance at a short to pop. Even then, I'm not too sure about it.
We're going to just look real quickly here and see what's going on with some of the sectors. We just talked about some of the sectors and what we were looking at right now. Consumer staples, real estate, and healthcare, the only ones that are up today. And if we go over here and flip this over, energy, wow, down 4% today. Absolutely crazy. Information technology, obviously, as we look at some of the Mag 7s and whatnot, down 3.79%. Consumer discretionary, Tesla's not helping that one either. Materials, industrials, we just keep on going. Oh, WWE views on Netflix are up 13% over last year, I guess. I don't know, but again, TKO, a big company there. So if you want to invest in WWE, you can invest in TKO right here, TKO Group. So again, obviously some good numbers there with Elimination Chamber, and we'll have to just wait to see down 1.5% TKO, a nice little drop down as well. So again, just trying to diversify if you want to get into the media game. TKO is WWE. And I believe it's Endeavor, used to be Endeavor. So looking at UFC and things like that as well. So good call there. Great. Now more than $1 there on that play for Nvidia. I was debating shorting Tesla. If it got back up to this 284 mark there where the 50 period is, this is getting pretty aggressive off the bottom as well. So Oklo down 10%, people talking about that. Oh, I did want to check in Robinhood. Did that give it all back right now today? Robinhood, yeah.
Yes.
They were up huge, $55, now down 5%. So complete turn of events here for Robinhood and not in a good manner. So I don't know, man. It's just, nothing's looking that good.
Nope.
And I don't
and
really.
Just as strong as Nvidia
today,
even just looked. I just trailed out of that one. It actually got $140, but then it just turned around heavily there. And again, I feel like it's more of a short situation today. Could be wrong about this, but I'm not anticipating the buy imbalances because of what we saw on Friday. And I said it and then didn't really show you. This is Nvidia at the close on Friday. I can show you a million stocks here. This is Amazon at the close. Just pick a big cap or Mag 7 name at the close, and they were just buy. at the end of the day. Not just a program. There was a lot of buy imbalances on them. It was it was MSCI rebalancing, month end, all that stuff. So that kind of window dressing, I don't know if you see the same thing at the beginning of the month. I don't have any science on that, or I can't tell you that I've tracked it, but yeah, we're going to scalp trade it here and just maybe look for one more shorting opportunity. Like, I'm still eyeballing SMCI because it's just such a dog today. If we can get just a little bit into a prior resistance level. It's 333, so there's a little bit more time for us to work into it. Will just said in the chat, Pepsi is still relatively strong. Yeah, that makes sense, man. Like, it doesn't surprise me that you'd see at least a little bit of strength in something like Pepsi. Eli Lilly's not doing too bad on a day like today. You talked about healthcare being all right. There's always somewhere that you can hide out. Just the financials are getting hit a little bit harder than I would have expected, but they really don't like this tariff talk.
Yeah, we had Michael Noss on talking all about financials as well. So if there was some sort of a play there, you guys can have a quick look and see what he's been up to. But yeah, financials. Again, love financials here for the year as we talk about regulations and all that kind of stuff. All right, I just shorted Nvidia at 113.25, 26 is. We just got O's as a bid right here. So we'll see. It's going to break back down below. I'm bidding 80s. Okay, it just held. All right, I'll put a bid out. We'll get a little piece at O's. There it is. We just got O's. There's so much volume. We could just put a bid out and most likely get hit. So look at that, 334 million shares right there on Nvidia. So we'll play it low. We'll see if we can get back in. We're bidding in the 80s right now on this space, and we're just going to try to move forward with that here on Nvidia. What else you guys want to look at, man? MSTR. I'm actually surprised that Bitcoin's been holding out pretty good today. I mean, I thought it would have been lower on this kind of a move down. I mean, the NASDAQ is down 2.5%. Like, we were at 86, 87 when the market was flat. Now we're down huge. And if you do think that there's a correlation, which I do believe there is, with the NASDAQ, I actually think this has much more of a move to come back in on MSTR. So... and on Bitcoin. We can look at Coinbase. I mean, that was a play that I had. I haven't looked at this in a minute. Obviously, at the $200 level coming into play here as well. Wow, down 4-5% straight down. We looked at Robinhood. I mean, nothing's obviously sparring that name either, but this has been such a wild ride. Okay, we did break now below on Nvidia, and we did get that fill. So we'll take it. Again, we just took, wow, that was pretty good, man. We got 81s on Nvidia. So 26s to 81s, 50 cents plus there on that play. So far, so good here, as Nvidia looks like it wants to bleed right back down. So we're short. We're short AMD for $3. We're short right now for 50 cents on Nvidia. Just keep on playing the short, man. We had to wait for the pop-up. It did come in. Now we'll wait to see if we do get more moves to the downside here again. So, man, everything. Yeah, Nvidia's killing all of us, man. All of our accounts right now getting bled to the downside, as I'm pretty sure everybody owns some Nvidia. And if you don't, lucky you. Maybe it's time to buy. Up to you. But all right, Neil, what you guys say?
Well, I want to say that if you got some extra money around there to dip buy into Nvidia, or you want more, well, eSignal is having their first month free. So save a little bit of extra coin. Maybe find the level that's worth buying Nvidia at with their custom scanners, pretty much everything you could ask for. If it's a moving average, or you can talk about like anchored VWAP, volume profile, all these great indicators out there that you can find and utilize if they work for you. And how do you figure out if it works for you? By back testing. Yeah. By back testing on every single equity you could possibly imagine to your heart's desire with reliable quotes. It's all there for you so that you can trade smarter, not harder. There's Take Replay, which we always talk about being a valuable tool. The Imbalance Locator, which will be coming out here for us in just about 10 minutes or so. And the best thing about it, it's all in one place. It's reliable. It's lightning fast. You connect to many brokers so that you can trade automatically if you find a strategy that works for you. And it's a month free. I mean, at the end of the day,
big.
Come on. You don't like it, then get rid of it. If it takes your game to the next level, then it's worth it, and you keep paying for it. And it's just the cost of doing business for a trader. So shout out to eSignal. Scan the QR code you see in front of you. Take advantage of this, everybody. And then short the pops is the other thing I want to say. I believe it was Ray, when I was a trainee, who used to always say short the pops. In the market like this, when we're going down, what are you going to do? This is the NASDAQ. It's not good. Not good. These are 15-minute candles. And they're too beaucoup to the downside. That's just how it is right now. So short the pops, or if there aren't really that big pops, short the small moves to the upside is the best way to put it. Because you can't even call these. On a 3 minutes, like any little green candle, I guess, is a short on a lot of these names. Let's go across the board. So SMCI, we're back in. Let's see if we can break the low. Who knows? Palantir, I keep looking for, is there a bounce spot? Palantir, it had this big rally, but it's not going to get to 81. Like, I think for this, I like reversions on Palantir, but I don't think you get deep enough to even try one. I don't think you see the 81 at this point. There's only 20 minutes left to go. We're on a prop desk, so we're always flat at the end of the day, and I got to get up to the desk towards the end anyway, so I'm not sure we're going to get that big of a flush on Palantir, but a couple levels to watch for tomorrow. The 81 and this 78, I think, can come into play. But, man, it's just getting intense.
Yeah, today I think
it's one of those days, like I said, like a lot of times I look at this and my gut is like, hey, 2.5% down, what am I buying? I look around, it's like, oh, well, I kind of already bought that at this price the last time we got here, or don't like the chart. It's like, let it break down. Like when things are under the 200, like there's some stocks that I don't mind looking for dip buys, but if they're under the 200 period moving average, I have all the patience in the world. It's like, I can wait a quarter if it's trending down. Like that's just how I feel about some of these names. Meta is different though. Meta distinct bids in. Meta's distinct.
Meta, I think Meta.
Well, because Meta's just, what are we down to?
Makes sense.
2%, we're down. We're at the 50 period. Like you'd have to drop another 20% to get to the 200 period moving average. Like Meta's different. Like I think like buying Meta into the 200 period as opposed to waiting for it to get there. They pull all the right levers. Anyways, I just like Meta. With only 10 minutes to go till the imbalances come in here, we'll hang on to SMCI and we'll head over to Adara.
Keep an eye here on FXI, which is at day's lows. Apparently, White House here saying that there will be a double, apparently, on the China tariff from 10% to 20%. We already had those comments coming from Trump. White House apparently echoing that, just saying that China has not been proactive enough when it comes to the blockage of trade or fentanyl, the same kind of thing that Donald Trump said. So FXI on watch as we get more reiteration here of these plans to double tariffs on China from 10% to 20%. Guys, back to you.
Not good. Yeah, you don't want to hear any sort of a doubling up of tariffs, and we can go over there and look at, FXI. I'm starting to piece out a little bit more of Nvidia here. I don't really have too much thought other than just to try to like bail on some of these things. But as Neil said, man, short the pops. That's what we did. It's just touched six. I'm bidding 62s right now. I don't really know why. Excuse me, I got to get a water, I feel like. Okay.
Yeah, you don't even
I'm going to go get it. I just want to say thank you to Noah right there. What's up? Digging the look. Thank you so much for that one. Today's a mental health day off work for me, so for you. So thank you, Noah, for that. Made 250. Flush it off on Tesla and just found I was voted Teacher of the Year.
Boom.
Props it up for Noah. What up, Noah? Great job there, man. Awesome. Teacher of the Year. I mean, obviously, Neil and I both have kids in the public school system, so I don't know what your private school, public school, whatever, or secondary, like, university or college or whatever, but we want to say a shout out to all the teachers out there, because without you guys, man, I'd have to pay for babysitting. So thank you so much for all of that and for keeping our young kids educated, because they sure aren't learning too much from me. But okay. Anyways, at the end of the day, congratulations, Noah. All right, new segment that I'm going to go get. It's not what's for lunch, but what was for lunch today? We had salmon again on our salad. What was the main lunch, Joe?
I don't even know.
What was it?
The salmon was okay.
Oh, it was salmon again? Jeez, come on, man. I told Raquel, I was like, man, the salmon was good, but that was Friday. You bring it again on Monday? Okay, so here it is. What? The new segment is called Roll Up the Rim. Not sponsored by Tim Hortons. Damn you, Tim Hortons. All right, so you get an electronic, you get one on the app, and you can also roll up the rim right here and try to win an ID buzz.
Will Sean win Roll Up the Rim?
And if you were Joe sitting there, Joe would be asking for half of whatever I win.
Oh, why not ask Perplexity?
Yeah, no, I'm not wasting any time. All right. Well,
boo.
I don't know if you can. No, you can't really. It says please play again.
Boo.
Loser.
can't get apple fritter if you don't.
Oh, you know what though? Wait a second. Did I already do it? I think I already did it on my.
You gotta do it on the app.
I think I already did it on my app, and I think I already lost. So that was. I wanted to do it. Yeah, I have no more rolls.
I haven't won anything from this
2.
McDonald's
0 for 2.
prize nonsense.
Oh, I got a small
You
fountain
got
drink.
something? I haven't won anything.
Small fountain drink.
Win anything.
Okay.
Market's at the lows
all right.
again. More
Yeah,
fresh
market
lows.
Nvidia right now lows, low. All right, I'm gonna go get a water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you got to make sure you stay hydrated on a day like today. You don't want to be looking at all these red quotes and then just start fainting because you're a little bit lightheaded. So, yeah, stay up, everybody. But the market's not staying up. That's all I can say. So you just got to short it. Pounds here now 82 and 82.7. So what we've been looking at for SMCI should have been doing with Palantir as well, because yeah, it didn't stick with that one. We stuck with SMCI. We damn sure didn't. We certainly didn't stick with Palantir. Now down at $83. Like the bleed is real, everybody. Tesla 279 just broke. The 50 period. No, sorry, scratch that. We're losing the 200 period moving average here on Tesla. So with 5 minutes to go to the imbalances, I'm just going to hold SMCI with a trail on at this point. Like there's really no other play for me other than just to sit around and wait to see what happens on it. Like how far is it going to go down? So I don't want to put anything right before the imbalances come through, but we will keep an eye. You might see some big numbers on here just because of the volatility we had, and it's the first of the month. There's some early looks. Pfizer, who cares? ADT. We saw them last week, didn't we? That's the alarm company.
Yep.
And then that's a buyout. KO's there. Yeah, there's really nothing on the early look that's going to stand out here. I mean, Verizon, that'll always pair off, I guess. So, yeah, we'll just wait till 350. Like, nothing's really standing out for the first of the month, so you're just waiting for 350 to see what might come out there. So, going to have trailing stops on the short. Make sure that I have all other stops. That I don't need to stop in Palantir, because obviously it's not going to go back up to the price I shorted it at. So, yeah, going to put some trailing stops in there. Only in SMCI, but I'm going to have Nvidia up. I'm going to have Tesla up. Those seem to be moving around the most, so I was going to guess that maybe they have an imbalance on them, and we'll see if we can make a trade on those imbalances.
Yeah, right now we are we got a pretty good price there, 74s on Nvidia. So we'll wait to see if we can get any lower than that one. As so far so good here on NVDA, but more to come, man. I mean, I don't know where we're going at the end of the day here. Seems lower, but AMD we still have a couple. I'm going to turn off my music now because we got to focus a little bit here as we go. So yeah, so far so good, but not great, right? As we look at some of this pullback here in the market, everyone's pretty upset about what these tariffs mean at the end of the day there. There we go, noise canceling headphones. What is Intel doing? Wow, dude. Oh man, make America great again.
That is a really steady down.
This is just like, hello, 2260 coming into play.
That's a very controlled
video.
down.
For Intel, very, 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 very bad move. We looked at Broadcom, maybe if you fancy that kind of a trade as a possible play there today for Broadcom, 185. That looks like maybe a solid level for some sort of resistance there. But yeah, we'll wait to see what's happening exactly with Broadcom. But 185, maybe that comes into play tomorrow. I got to fix, is there something wrong with my earpiece and it's bugging me? So, all right, cheers up to everybody. We do have Hydration Nation. On a day like today, stick to your rules. I think that's what me and Neil do the best. Well, we do a lot of things hopefully pretty good, but it's about not suffering those huge hits and then being able to, like we said, trend is your friend. Play the shorts. We've been doing that. The trend is upside today, yeah, for sure. We just got 127.60s right there for this play on NVIDIA. So again, we waited. We did short 50s and it didn't work. We got out and then we shorted again once it came back in and played that to the downside. So we're ringing the register now on 50 cents right there. But I don't, like Neil mentioned, heading into the close, we do have imbalances that we have to deal with. And right now, nothing on here. Neil's already showed it, but at 350, we will blow up again and get the NASDAQ names to come through. So I'm looking for NVIDIA to be a decent sell. Maybe we push that lower. Like we'll go with it if it is a sell. Apple was holding out okay today. Man, this is making me upset today because this market just continues to bleed. Like Apple now down 2%, down to 237.
Yeah.
Said last week, man, looking for opportunities to get out of this market, and you had one today. The Nasdaq was up 1% at one point. Like, that's a lot of money being wiped out. I don't know what percentage of you look at the Nasdaq, complete market cap of the Nasdaq, you know, and then you wipe out 4% from that because you're going to be down 3 and you were up 1.25 or so. So not a great day there, as tariff talk still obviously continues to bother this market. So yeah, man, this is why you're here with us now. We've got Adara. We're trading this market. We're trying to show you as many levels as we can on many of these names. So stick with us, and we'll try to work through this bleeding, bless you, of the market. We don't have too many earnings, I don't think. Adara dropped some in the chat. Oh, we have Okta. We have GitLab. I mean, GitLab probably not going to be sparred by any kind of these moves either. Down 7% today. I'm shaking my head and my rear at SMR because that's getting crushed. Down right now 11%. Astis, ASTS after hours as well. So the implied move for GitLab is 6%. Up that's going to be way higher than that. The implied move for SMR we don't have, but big downside. You do have one now? Did not. Okay, so they're not able to find it. All these are brought. This is not my work, man. I give credit where credit's due. We always talk about the work that Adara puts into all this. So SMR tonight down 10% right now. Oh man. I'm going to. I need to go into the brokerage account and disable whatever my password is, and just like so I'm not logging in or buying any of these dips, because I don't think it's time yet today to sit in here and buy any of this.
I used to be so
the beginning of the week
about it. I used to never look at my long-term account, like during trading hours. I was really good
trading
at that.
hours.
No, for years I was really good about that. And then it was I don't know, it was sometime after like COVID, you start checking it more. I was just looking to see if we had. Anyways, I was on this page because you guys were talking about the expected move, and then you just said there wasn't one for, I believe it was SMR. So
we're out now. So here we go, man. Nvidia's a 4 milli buy. So all right, so we'll take out some there on Nvidia. It does come a buy, but we are lucky enough. We just got 112.90s. So really no harm, no foul here. It looks like, anyways, for us. So far on Nvidia. What was the other one? Plug is a buy there. Yeah, we have it open right now. Google with a sell. That pressure continues, man. Google. Wow, this is the name that I would buy. Again, I'm in it already. I mean, my long-term portfolio is littered with all these Mag 7 names, and now littered with disgusting trades, I guess. We're still going to be in the money on most of these things. The only thing that we bought recently was Tesla, and that's been a disaster. But Nvidia, Pfizer, H-band? No, Intel. Neil, it's not getting any better out here.
Nothing is getting better. But
Nasdaq, Nvidia's tanking. You're not in it.
No, I just got trailed out on these. So what I think probably happened is, when 350 hit, Nvidia had a buy imbalance, and like anything that was tech got a small bump. So I've trailed out of SMCI. It's going to be SSR tomorrow, so just a couple of things to consider. This will be short sell restricted, which I know it's bleeding to the downside. I might look for some bounce plays on this and then Nvidia tomorrow. But even with that buy imbalance, Nvidia is not really flying. So I don't see a trade there off the imbalances. Nothing really standing out that's going to give you an opportunity, I think, on these imbalances. Unless you'd have to like Nvidia at 4 million. Nothing else is going to be there. So if there's one thing that I'm not happy about, like we had 3 trades and it all worked, but the biggest mistake was not getting back into Palantir. And part of it was this morning I was like, if long as 85 is above 85, I like Palantir for long. So I wasn't really feeling this thing when it broke down, and 85 turned to be a good reversal spot. So if you have a level that you're in love with, and the market is trending away from it, like you like it for a long, market trends away from it, if you get a chance to short off that level, this thing popped up and went within 20 cents of that 85 level on a retrace. So you could have actually shorted this with 25 cents worth of risk to see it drop $2. But I kind of like Palantir at 85 long. Missed opportunity on that to go short again. It's one of those. Eduardo just said Microsoft's at a great support level. I don't like Microsoft out of the Mag 7. This is one I'm not. Whoops, I just typed in MSTR instead of That's how much I don't like Microsoft, is I just typed in MicroStrategy, which I don't own, by the way, instead of Microsoft. No, it hasn't been doing anything. It's underneath the 200-period moving average. It's approaching those August lows where it was a buy before, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Meta's better.
I don't love Microsoft.
I like Meta better. I like Alphabet better. I like Amazon better.
That means Microsoft's
I like
going to be the
Nvidia.
best one.
Well, I mean, you're probably
Not
right.
because of
but
you, because I think a lot of people think
I
that.
think a lot of people are feeling that same way. I don't like the stock and how it's been performing. I bought 2 things on that August low. One of them did exceptionally well. The other one did jack all. And that's one of them's Microsoft. The other one's Meta. And sometimes you get too cute. I always like to be like, ooh, what's the one that I think is a little bit, it's not going to be as volatile, so that I'm not dip buying only a volatile name. I should have just bought all Meta. Nothing against you, Microsoft. I just don't like it.
No, but yeah, when we look, I mean, we don't.
Stinks.
Yeah, sometimes you have that, you can look back and say, what have I done? And today we don't really do that because we were short pretty much the majority of the day. So we've been happy, with the performance of ourselves today. My number one stock today will be, I was just trying to look to see, after all of this, okay, so we make some money there on Nvidia, but still not enough to be number one. AMD, it was just going to be this TQ short, actually, that still continues to count out for us. So we're happy with that play. And now just looking to see if we can basically, I'm just sending some orders right now to get out of these in case we do rip back up. So good outs. We only have a very, very small piece left of this name here, which is Nvidia. So other than that, man, good day. We'll wait to see what winds up happening tomorrow. We shorted Nvidia on the pop. Here we had AMD this whole way. We talked about Walmart holding up pretty good. I want to check out Nike as some tariff talk. Obviously, he's going to hit this name as well as more tariffs coming from China. Again, a lot of their goods being made over there. Tesla gets hit today on just Canada, imports, exports, and China there as well. Down 4% for Tesla, right at that Randy level of 280 again. That could be the bounce. We give Randy credit. I mean, he called that level Friday, and looks like he likes it again here today. So we'll wait to see here, but it's right there right now. Quick look on the imbalances, real quick one more time. Plug power, so that Nvidia imbalance is now gone. Not that that really matters, as we are pretty much flat on that one. And I'm just going to get out right now of AMD. I mean, it's at 98 and change. Let's just cover it right now with only 5 minutes left. We'll put a bid at 72, and there it is. We get that fill right at the 50-period moving average for advanced micro devices, and that will end that trade. So it's basically one of our best outs happening right at the end of the day. So yeah, the rhetoric of shorting at 1 or 2 o'clock looks like that's going to continue and continue to work. So yeah, so far so good there, and you're flat. So why don't you say goodbye and get ready to go for that?
Well, it's not goodbye. Why? Because we got the aftermarket show. We got a Dara at the desk. We got some more reporting.
SMR should be good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like it for it to be good, but what an ugly stock. But I feel like when we go over the sectors and we go over some individual names, it's not exactly going to be. It's not going to be pretty.
No.
So everyone buckle up for it, but we're going to be talking about the market. We'll be answering your questions. We'll have Michael Lossie get his thoughts. What a reversal in crypto. Thank goodness we're at least holding 85,000, but I can't believe, I'm like you, man. I recently bought at 86, 429, or some ridiculously stupid price that I probably put in as a joke. And we were sitting at 93,000 today. And if you would have told me that recent buy would be out of the money at 356 by the end of the day, I would have laughed in your face. Yet here we are. The only mistake was maybe not shorting enough things in the afternoon or not holding on to them. But Nvidia will be SSR tomorrow. So that means I'm going to be looking for an SSR bounce on Nvidia because you don't get that opportunity very often. I think we're going to see that in tomorrow's trade. So about 3.5 minutes to go. I just saw this on Tesla. Tesla just went $6. I just looked up at one of my black charts. Tesla just caught a serious bid. There wasn't an imbalance to flip, but that flip to script actually caught a bit of a bid. So Tesla will close above the 200-period moving average and above the Randy level. So if you just buy with Randy, apparently you are good to go and golden on Tesla. I'm not buying here on Tesla. Like I said, I like Meta a little bit better. This one feels like it's still headed lower.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to be in the car business.
Maybe. I also didn't sell anything up at the 480s, so that kind of sucks. That is what it is. I'm going to head on up to the desk. We got the aftermarket show.
Great day.
Hopefully we can find something that was strong so we can talk about it.
You can't.
There always is. No, there's always something that we can review that was relatively strong. We'll find something. for you guys.
Yeah, there'll be something. We talked about 3 sectors that were up today. Just a quick little look there. We have Okta tonight. Again, some cybersecurity play there. We'll have to wait to see what's going on with Okta, down to $87. Still, wow. Everything today, everything crushed. We talked about Reddit earlier on this morning as well as a possible play. 162 and change for Reddit today, actually green. So there you go, Neil. We found one there, a pocket of strength for everybody in RDDT coming in again. Nvidia really caught a nice bid there. We got out for flat. We only had 5% left. We don't want to hold anything really into the imbalances. So all of our outs there, 112.76 and change. So really worth it. Nvidia catching. Can't believe I'm saying Nvidia catching a bid, down 8.77%. Just real quick, man. I mean, let me see what's going on with these refreshers here. 11 likes. That's obviously not true. I'm going to refresh. With over 7,000 of you watching right now, let me just go see. Over 500 likes. We need to get a little more than that, man. 600 likes right now. Over 7,000 of you watching. Your portfolio will not recover unless you hit that like button. Like, that's not a science nor guaranteed at all, but that's what I'm thinking. So if you can hit the like button right there, we'll get over 700 or 800 before the day's end. There's only a minute left. We're going to have a Dara probably come through, or Joe or somebody ringing that bell with less than 1 minute left. Let it stop. Don't worry, it almost will. And then we can watch out what's going to happen in the recap show there. As Neil and Dara will also review the market and whatnot and see how that's going to play out for us today. IBIT ends the day down how much? Up. Okay, so IBIT actually, because of where we opened, I guess, still looking up from Friday. That's the thing, right? Bitcoin's clearly not going to have an up day today, closing around 86,000. But at the end of the day, IBIT reflecting the close from Friday in our system. So up a little bit on that nice announcement from President Trump and the crypto reserve over the weekend. We'll see if that can continue to wait. I am just like excited to hear about all this. Tomorrow's Tariff Tuesday. We'll see if they take flight. I mean, apparently they will right now with less than now 10 seconds on. What's up, Joe? There he is. Yeah, Joe, there he goes. Yeah, waving that thing. Not too hard, my guy. That thing has been broken a couple times. 3, 2, 1. There it is. We have coined. Thank you, Joe. Late, and I just saw it there on the board. So make sure you do join GitLab Okta tonight, 2-1 ASTS as well on the earnings front. And then Neil and Adara will continue to watch this bloodbath, I guess, in the market. Could continue here after hours. Thankfully, the market has stopped right now. It is 4 o'clock. And if we're ready, Ramin, I mean, I'm kind of ready. It looks like they may be ready up there. So, all right, without any further ado, thank you to Bears vs. Bulls. Thank you to our guests today as well. Big time. Thanks, Brendan, for that as we go. Liquid. That's it, just liquid. Liquid Technology. So thanks, Brendo, for that interview. Go back around 12:30 or so, and you guys can check that out again. Bitcoin, they hold over 160 coins they talked about there. The Lightning Network for Bitcoin. So go check that company out as well. What's up to Joe? Thank you for that. What's up to Sharif today? Thank you. Ramin over there on the ones and twos as well. Thank you to Andre. Adara for all the breaking news. And of course, thanks to Neil for another great show. So look, join us, and Bears vs. Bulls. I didn't say that, but most importantly, thank you to everybody out there. Wow, we just got more than double the likes. You know, heart up. Are we allowed to do this? Heart. I know, but I'm not ready. Ramin, heart. Okay, thank you so much. 1.1K. They're ready. Thank you for hitting that like button. We're back tomorrow. Get a good sleep because we're hitting those sell keys again tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you then. Ciao.
Welcome. Promised you we'd find you a strong stock, and we've got one. It's Okta. They reported, so it's a bit of a cheat. Okta to the upside almost immediately here. They just reported before. I actually haven't seen the numbers, but you can tell by the chart that clearly it's doing some things. We are now at $96 after closing here at 87, so almost a 10% move here on OKTA, Adara.
Yeah, and I mean, these results are more than okay, Neil. We have adjusted earnings of 78 cents per share. That's a beat of 74 cents. Sales also a healthy beat, 682 million versus 669.46 million expected. Revenue here was up 13% year over year for the quarter. Now for their fiscal 2025, revenue was actually up 15% year over year. Subscription revenue 16% year over year. So putting it this way, we had nice increases for the quarter and for the year for revenue. Their GAAP operating losses, though, actually apparently expanded here by looks like 23%. So expanded loss, not a great look there for loss per share, but revenue quite nice here. And again, that's both for fiscal year and for the quarter. If I see anything else, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, well, the way this thing is moving, if you want to keep yourself secure, then you probably don't want to short that one. As they are holding those highs, the expected move is 12% here. The prior was actually pretty much nothing. It only moved like 1% the last time. But hey, good-looking stock, man. I joke about this all the time, but it was a sell when it did a golden cross, and all of a sudden it made the bounce off the 200-period moving average. Golden cross meaning it broke the 50, broke the 200 upside. That actually indicated a sell, even though it's supposed to be bullish. But I like where this stock is if it can hold out the 92, 93. So basically just looking at this area, 92, 93, I'd like to see the buyers maintain control as we go back over. Why is the 1 minute not over? Why is it not going to my 1 minute? Usually I double click and it works just fine. All right, so this is now freezing on me. Anyways, we're still holding up at this 95 level, so well above that 93. We're expecting GitLab at 405, SMR at 415, and then ASTS at 420, aptly at 420. So it was a bit of a down day today. I don't know if you noticed that, everybody. Like, there's not a heck of a lot on this board that's actually strong, but let's start with the good, because we got to have some positivity out there. Why? Okay, now this does not want to. All right. Maybe Derek, can you pull up a chart of GLD? Because my chart is hating me right now, and I'm not getting any data. But GLD was actually up 1.3%. It was just a wealth of pain. Uranium, 5% down, TAN, 3.5% down. Do you have GLD? Because flight to safety makes sense, right? Like, what will be up today? The VIX will be up today, and gold will be up today.
And gold is up today. I mean, this is the 3-minute charts. You can see here, we kind of chilled, had a nice attempted to run here on Wednesday, closed a little bit lower. So that would be Thursday. Friday, we had this drop into the open, then kind of rebounding, closing near day's highs. And then, of course, today, what a story. We close near highs, actually basically at highs here post-market. GLD is a great-looking ticker today. That is for sure. A lot of these non-equity names are certainly on watch. I mean, Bitcoin, of course, but we also had UNG on watch. That's for sure. That actually ended up on Sharif's rundown at 2 p.m. So definitely check that out. And if you want to vote for tickers, make sure you join the midday show with Joe and Sharif. But UNG actually also closing near day's highs, looking pretty similar to GLD. And I would even argue it's pushed to the upside from the open is even better looking than what we saw with gold. But we have GitLab earnings, Neil, so let's get on those. I am seeing those pop up here, and they're a year ahead like Nvidia. So this is Q4 2025. Revenue here for Q4 coming in at $211.4 million. That is, from what I'm seeing, above estimates of 205.46 or 64, sorry. But I like to always remind everyone that sometimes these estimates are not going to necessarily align because everyone kind of has their own estimates. Looks like they did beat on revenue, though, and it's certainly up year over year. GAAP gross margin actually slightly down year over year. Their non-GAAP gross margin also down year over year. Their GAAP operating margin, a decent improvement here. So it looks like their operating margins improved. Gross margins actually did not improve. Their operating loss, though, also was a little bit of an improvement on a year-over-year basis. So we're going to have to wait till I see all these numbers. Okay, I'm seeing these numbers come through officially.
We're dropping like a rock.
Yeah, we had revenue of $211.48 million, as I mentioned. Earnings of 7 cents per share, adjusted earnings 35 cents per share, and then those margins that I mentioned. So the margins might not be a great look here for this market.
Emotional damage for GitLab. Look, it's down 16%, but it was already down on the day because everything tanked. It's the low that just got put in was another 10% from the close. Expected move was to be 6.4%. So you're probably sitting north of that range on a little bit of a bounce here. When you look at this one on the daily, like, where did we just lose? Stop me if you've heard this before. The 200-period moving average on GitLab was just lost on that print. That sits at 55.5, so it's a flat bottom break through it. I think you get some resistance on the way back up. This is, I hate to say it, I mean, you heard Sean say, like, right at the end of the day, we're looking for that sell key tomorrow morning for continuation. I don't think that's changed with this earnings name here. You break down, you're under the 200-period moving average. My first thought's going to be short on GitLab. Only trade this thing maybe once a quarter, and that's the day after earnings. So GitLab very much on watch. 55.5, the 200-period moving average, not looking good for them at all. So far, it's just GitLab. Obviously, we also had Okta. We're looking forward to SMR. I did want to note a couple of things. I saw this in the chat, and there was some talk about TLT, like the 20-year, how strong a day it had. So TLT, which, you're looking for things that are going to be strong. Obviously, we talk about the VIX, or you could have hidden a little bit of healthcare today. You could have hidden gold today. TLT getting a little bit of a break. It's like a mini breakout, but it's not a breakout because the breakout already happened back in here at 89. But now you got the 200 period. It's got maybe another leg in it. I'd be a little bit concerned that it could revert back at 94. Personally, I think gold's a stronger looking play if you're trying to hide out a little bit here. But yeah, decent run here in TLT. I wanted to shout out that was a good move. Noticed by lots in the chat. I do want to go over a couple of things before we actually get the next earnings name, SMR, out there, because when we talk about tariffs, Adara, like the big story was tariffs. We're going to have Tariff Tuesday, and then now we're going to get the reciprocal tariffs in April. One of the things that I think got missed in terms of stories today was the reason Nvidia was already weak before all of this. And that was that there is essentially, there's some chips that are making their way to China that shouldn't be. And that was the report. So Nvidia was already selling today before we had that extra huadunk to the downside. Like we dumped at the open. It was just a continuation play for Nvidia. And again, there were reports that some of the chips that are restricted were making their way into China. And that was why it dumped off the open. So Nvidia, it did manage to bounce. And the only place you bounce, where? Off the DeepSeek lows and 10% down. I feel like it's going to be a simple play here tomorrow for Nvidia. If it's holding on to the DeepSeek low, it's SSR. Look for the bounce off that level. If we're losing that level, well, I mean, the next low on the daily is not till 100 even, everybody. So Nvidia, if it loses this level, it's got a ways to go. But there's at least one spot to look for the SSR bounce. Because as a trader, you don't see stocks like Nvidia or Tesla with that day 2 10% down play for the bounce. And when they bounce, if they bounce, the risk to reward is gorgeous. So I know today we're only looking short, but there's some opportunities for some bounce plays tomorrow, I do think.
And I think, yeah, even like if you're not looking at things necessarily with a directional bias, I think you could have some opportunities. My issue off the open was I was trying to find certain directions because, the market had to move this way. And when I was just letting things take me where they wanted to take me, things went a lot better. So I would say do not be directionally biased. Have levels you like, but be willing to get a little loosey-goosey and play with this market because this market loves to play with us. Also, B. Riley here, Unique Trading Group, was asking about Riley, so let's take a look at this because they released their preliminary estimates of their unaudited Q4 2024 results. So that is what we do here. Again, this is pretty similar to SMCI in that they had or in this case, unaudited, though I believe SMCI's might have been audited. These results here, they also announced the sale of their Atlantic Coast Recycling LLC for $70 million in cash. They guided Q4 net income available to common shareholders of about $48 to $68 million. That would also be $1.57 to $2.22 per share. So RLY pulling an SMCI here with these unaudited early earnings. Also, would love to say a shout out here and very happy birthday to the twin brother here of Bears versus Bulls. I guess that also means you have a very happy birthday. So happy birthday to Bears versus Bulls. Thank you so much for everything you do, and happy birthday to your twin as well. You're such an invaluable part of this community, and we're so grateful to have you here every single day to guide us. Because, yeah, we could not do this without you. So shout out to you.
Oh, that's awesome. Happy birthday. And make sure you enjoy it. Hard work, not letting anybody know, but that's what it's all about right there. So happy birthday both to your brother and yourself as well. And great call out on that Riley story. And I just posted in the chat, we say it all the time. If there's ever a trading term or something that we say, it could be myself, I do it all the time, or Sean or Dara, any of us. If we say something you don't understand what the term means, just ask us in the chat. We have a great community that can probably answer it for you. It's another reason you want to be in the community. But SSR is short sell restricted, and it just means the uptick rule goes into effect on a stock that is 10% down from its prior close. And then that uptick rule stays in place for that day and then the following day. And the uptick rule simply means you cannot go short by hitting the bid unless the last print is an uptick. It's in there to, I guess, help stocks that are getting crushed from people just driving it down by hitting fresh lows. So oftentimes you can get more acceleration if its stock starts bouncing. It's just harder for people to go short when unless it's actually giving you that uptick. So it's a pretty interesting rule. It used to be the case on a bunch of stocks when I started trading. Like everything was SSR, like the uptick rule was in place. Now it's kind of a special thing. So we are expecting SMR, but not for another few minutes here. I do believe, I don't know if we're ready yet. We are good? Well, we're good. We got a little trader talk time, so we're going to get to SMR when they come out, as well as ASTS. But for now, we got a little trader talk with you know who. You know exactly who we got here. We got the NOS boss himself from Stats Edge, our good friend of the show. Wow, what a day. I know you love the first day of the month for obvious reasons on the monthly charts, but for volatility, yeah, let's just say the day trade didn't disappoint today, Michael.
Yeah, this market in general, even though if you zoom out, we haven't gone anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere in the most spectacular fashion that I have ever seen.
That's about the most perfect way to talk about this market. To be honest, like it's absolutely perfect, because if you look at where the Qs are, like you said, like we're right back into prior lows. We're at the 200 period. If you look at a trend on a daily chart, it looks absolutely fine on a lot of stocks, maybe not all of them, on a lot of things, let's just say, and the broad market looks okay. But something that did move, I know we've talked about this a lot, is that sideways action on Bitcoin, right? Like that little sort of flag or whatever support that we've been in, where like that low 88 to 92 level has been holding. What's crazy about the move today for me, Michael, is that we gapped underneath it, and then on this crypto reserve on news, you got right back above that prior support. For that to instantly not hold, that's not good in my books. So I think that's really bad for the short term in Bitcoin. The fact that you got back above that 88, 89, 90 area and then just couldn't hold it at all today is not a very good look, especially when this was driven by news.
Yeah, and that's actually the exercise I was doing in the green room. And I think what I'm going to be spending some of the evening doing is just looking at which of those cryptos that were mentioned and which of the cryptos in general retraced that entire bar. So I do have the chart up here of Bitcoin, and I can kind of explain what I'm talking about a little bit, where we had, that massive green bar, that massive surge that happened because of that news that was mentioned about the reserve. And we've given it all back. So we are right back at the lows here, right? Massive push higher and then massive push down to the low. A couple of them, even though, I'm ignoring the percentage up and down because I look at that more as beta, how much it moves compared to crypto. But for one was this Cardano. It had this massive push higher, but you can see we're only halfway through that bar. So I talk about all the time about different ways to kind of look at relative strength and relative weakness and different ways to define it. I think one thing I am going to be doing a lot of when it comes to these different coins is just going through and saying, of that initial thrust that we had, how much of that has been retraced? And the ones that retrace the least, those are the ones I think are going to be a little bit interesting going forward. So one being Cardano here, another one being a Ripple, right? Not quite the entire move yet. So I think this is going to be an interesting way to look at, of all these names, which one had an underlying bid to it and which one was just playing off the news. But I think you're 100% right. Overall, if we don't recover, if we break back down to where this wick was, where everyone got kind of trapped in short there, things could be pretty ugly here for the short term anyway.
Yeah, and I think that's a great look. I think for a swing trader, as a day trader in a day like today, you're going to be pretty active, obviously. But I know when you're looking at that higher time frame, it is the day to sort of suss out relative strength and weakness. And oftentimes, relative strength doesn't always mean something that was up in a down market. Today is exactly the kind of day where if that's what you're looking for relative strength, something that actually held up and was just trending up all day, good luck with that. Like you're basically going to have the VIX and you're going to have gold and you're not going to have too much else. But along those lines, you're talking about things that, okay, you're looking for bullishness because it didn't engulf the entire candle. Is there ever the opposite of that, where you get a flush day like today and you're like, well, I know we're weak, but that was too weak, and you're looking for the other side of the trade? Is there anything that stands out in that vein for you?
Well, and one of the things you mentioned when I was in the green room there was how Nvidia was very interesting as I was just watching the day unfold. Nvidia actually was relatively weak to the overall market. Everything else was doing well, and Nvidia was just showing this weakness and selling into lows. So one of the kind of more discretionary trades I actually took is I just bought a bit of, I think it's NVDU, but it's just one of these. Yeah, NVDU, which is one of these inverse. No, NVDL. There's one of these short NVIDIA names. I'll look it up in my broker, but I end up buying some of that does well when NVIDIA does poorly. And it was because, exactly like you mentioned, it was a bit of a canary in the coal mine today, where right off the open, it was selling off when the rest of the market was holding up. So that's another one that, got a little bit just for a quick trade on that. But that makes me want to think a little bit longer and broader on that, where NVIDIA was the stock that let us out of the last bear market, and it was the darling and a huge market cap and a massive return. But today may have been the first sign of many that this might be a little bit over, where potentially Nvidia isn't going to be the name that ends up pushing us higher. We end up going and looking for other particular names. So I'm doing a lot of that recently, and that's when the market is range bound. I think that's kind of what we have to do. We have to be fast on our feet. We got to buy dips and sell rips and trade quickly. And thankfully, I've got some algorithms over at Satchez that does that. But then at the same time, I think we need to look for relative strength and relative weakness. So, one sector that was really strong today when the rest of them weren't, as boring as it is, the insurance company. So insurance and healthcare and XLF for banks seems to be where the flight to safety is. So I'm spending a lot of my time doing that. Look, what's relatively weak to the market, what's relatively strong, and spending all of my time kind of diving into those.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you have to do. I agree with you. I mean, obviously, I agree with you on the Nvidia. It was like it was 5% down before things started to get out of hand today, and that's the thing that you got to get. Like, it wasn't like it was down a point or two. Like, it was getting smoked before people were, before everyone was like, man, this day is really weak. Nvidia was looking a little bit peckish or skittish. The other thing we were talking about there is the DeepSeek bottom at 113. Anytime you have a major news event that provides a liquidity bottom, you lose that level. Like, we talk about anchored VWAP sometimes. Like, forget about the anchored from there because you would have already lost that. You lose the actual level itself and can get nasty. We got one bounce off it today. I think it can get nasty if we lose the other one. Michael, before we jump back to you, I want to get a DARA for the SMR report, and I want to make sure everyone can get the numbers for SMR, and then we'll come back.
Absolutely.
Sorry for the interruption there, Michael. We're going to take a look here at SMR earnings. So they ended up reporting $34.2 million in sales here for Q4 2024. I was seeing estimates of $1.23 million in sales. I'm not sure if those compare because sometimes we know that's not necessarily the case. What I find interesting, though, again, $34.2 million in sales for Q4. For the fiscal year, they had $37 million in sales, which means that the vast majority, if not almost all of their sales for the year, came in Q4. So I find that interesting. I want to see more on this, but this is me reading the report themselves. So these numbers are coming from the company. They also reported an increase here on a year-over-year basis for operational losses, both on a quarterly basis and a year-over-year basis. So increase in revenue and increase in losses here for SMR on both for Q4 and for the fiscal year. If I see anything else, I'll let you know, but I don't have much right now.
And the options sellers are winning this one, the market makers, because it's flat out not moving SMR.
We also have ASTS.
Yeah, and ASTS, we'll go one more. We have ASTS coming, and then we'll come right back to Michael.
Sorry about that, Michael Nuss. We have Q4 AST Space Mobile, losses of 18 cents per share, just larger than the 17-cent loss expected. So slightly larger than expected loss per share, sales of $1.92 million. Apparently that, I'm not really seeing if that compares to estimates, but again, they did miss on EPS. If I see anything else for either of those, I'll let you know.
Thank you very much, Dara. Appreciate you. Michael, you can already see what I'm going to go to next here. All right. So look, we have to. I purposefully, when we're talking about relative strength and things that were strong, you'll notice that I at no point in the aftermarket show did I mention that nat gas was strong. Why? Because I was waiting for you to be on so we could talk about this. I know you've been long this. I know it's been absolutely great. It is. I mean, it's almost there, right? Like it's broken both major moving averages. It's almost right back to the local high. So do you see, and a lot of traders have asked this question because like they see it going, and it's like, well, how do I get a part of this party? Do you see an opportunity to get into this, or is this a hold? Like, what are you doing with nat gas? Obviously, it's working very well on a day where everything has been crap today. It's been holding up really nicely, but it is right back at that fresh high. Is there a breakout in play? Is there a trail? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm looking to add if we do get a continuation. So just a quick summary. I've got the chart up here of the play, and it was just the fact that this 200-day moving average, which is the moving average I have on the screen, has been respected more than any moving average I think I've seen, especially for a commodity, and especially on this down move. Every time we came up to the 200-day moving average, we got sellers at that moving average over and over again. So when we broke it and then it tested it as support, and then it started to break out, that's where I started to get involved. So I've been buying little bits here and there. The idea, as long as it holds this 200-day moving average, I want to be long. But like you kind of mentioned, we have a pretty significant breakout point here for 21 and a half, you could call it. So now I'm looking at this as saying, well, is it a potential place where I could add some with a stop under this $20 a share? And I think if we get some continuation, that would make sense. Now, part of the reason I think this is working so well is obviously something that I couldn't have predicted, and that's because in a tariff type world, I think buying things that are inside, or, made in America and commodities in America is just a place that people are running to for a little bit of safety, which is hilarious to say for natural gas, which is called the widowmaker for a reason. But the idea is at least this won't be tariffed because it is made inside of America. So same reason you were talking about SMR, that's one name that I'm super interested in as it's at the 200-day moving average. This I look at the same kind of ways. Any way that you can make power inside of the US is more of a continuation play on the AI type of name. If you believe that the AI trend is going to continue, well, they're going to need to power it somehow. And with the new administration and its goal to have everything produced inside of America, it makes sense that you gravitate towards American power generation companies and, again, just the commodities itself. So uranium, I need to do more research on where the U.S. gets its uranium from. I don't think it's local, but natural gas is.
Yeah, and it's a great look, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I look at it, it's like I'm not touching nat gas with a 10-foot pole. I've said that a million times, but it does look like a good breakout trade. I just don't want to, I've never done it. I just we can find lots of places to win, and every trader for years that ever talks about nat gas just says how tricky it is to trade. So congratulations, I know that trade's a great one, and I'm glad you pointed out that news scale. I know it's down right now, and on earnings, it's not looking good. I think you need to see it hold that 200-period moving average because one of the things I always look at, it's a line on a chart a lot of times, but when you have a news event like earnings or maybe whatever, it could be a press release, and you lose and you've lost the major moving average like right away on that news. Well, the first thing I want to see is let it breathe for a little bit. And can it reestablish the support level as opposed to, well, I'm just going to hope that line holds even when you just had the report come out. So I I'm in SMR. Candidly, everybody, I own shares of SMR in the low teens, and I'm not looking to add to them until it can reestablish the 200-period moving average. But I like that play, and I'm glad you brought that one up, Michael. I know we're getting on a bit. Is there anything we haven't talked about here that you got or that you have on your mind? You've already covered crypto brilliantly as well. SMR, also talking about some places where we can hide and looking for some relative strength. I think it's a great call out, that Cardano, which caught a lot of people off guard, how much it moved because of its inclusion in the talk of the crypto reserve. They haven't bought anything just yet. Anything else on your mind?
Healthcare. I think healthcare is a big place that isn't getting a lot of attention still. I think it got maybe some bad press because of the RFK thing and the talks that he may reduce kind of access to some of these drugs or whatever, but the market doesn't care whatever it is. And that's why I'm glad that I'm following charts and not the news. But it broke out today and held this little breakout. This is something I've been talking about the last few weeks. The fact that it held on today of all days is very interesting to me. So I want to watch this one going forward. And you can go from big to small, right? So Eli Lilly is doing a great job. It's nearly back to that all-time highs and through that 1,000. So we need to start looking at maybe these Ozempic type play names again. I know Lilly is one, and NVO, which is Novo Nordisk, maybe another one. Things like Pfizer or Merck was actually one that was interesting when it closed very strong today at highs, and it's got this gap in the middle. So yeah, on top of the whole crypto project I made for myself tonight, I want to start looking through these healthcare names and seeing potentially what I can grab there, because I really think that we are in this rotation, the fact that we saw Nvidia break down before everyone else. So I want to spend my time trying to figure out where those institutions are going to put their money next and see if I can beat them to the punch a little bit.
Yeah, that's all what it's all about. Like, where are you going next? That's why we're always trying to think a bit ahead. I can tell you one person that likes the fact that you mentioned healthcare and specifically Eli Lilly, and that is Adara, because that was Adara's top pick when we did our 3 top picks of the year each on the show. Adara picked Eli Lilly.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you. I want to see if we make new all-time highs, but that 930, I like right now.
Yeah, we all like it. Michael, we can't thank you enough. We get to have you on morning and night to talk shop, and I love the call out there that you were mentioning. Hey, what didn't close that entire candle on the crypto names? Because you know the volatility should go right back there. And great thoughts on Nvidia and natural gas. We appreciate you. Can't wait to talk to you again at the end of the week. We'll see you on Friday. But thank you so much, Michael Noss from Stats Edge, our good friend.
Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Oh, what a day! What a day! What a day!
Indeed it was.
You should be dancing over that Eli Lilly, because that was an absolute beast. And they're confirming. You look at that XLF hold up, there's always something out there. Like we said, there's always something that's relatively strong. There's always a trend that you can find. You just have to do the work to make sure that you go out there and get it.
Yes.
I know we kind of glossed over, there was a lot going on here. We had Okta, we had GitLab, we had SMR, we had ASTS, all reporting in there. ASTS, I don't know if we talked too much about the chart. ASTS and SMR didn't really move a lot. They were already down on the day, so maybe that's why you didn't get a lot of movement, because the volatility was already in there. But ASTS, despite its 30% short float, not going anywhere. Not what I was expecting with that one. I was really expecting some fireworks with ASTS, because the implied move was a whopping 19%. So for this not to do anything is a bit surprising there.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys, too. I have not seen anything more than the numbers I've given you. I've seen neither of these circulate at all on X, not a single post. So I honestly just think that we were expecting more people to be watching these numbers than necessarily were. Or at least the people who are posting, who circulate, who get eyes on this, were not necessarily watching these names. Okta, I saw posted about, and I believe that was it from tonight's batch of earnings. So OKTA seems to be the biggest earnings name. I honestly haven't even seen much posting on GTLB, and GitLab. Well, it's a decently large name.
And well, GitLab actually, it didn't go green, but GitLab got back above its close, right? So it recovered the down move. It's holding above that 55.5. So there was a recovery in GitLab, and then Okta, this is the one holding the highs. You're up at the $100 level. It's up to 10%. So that's your earnings winner for short today. But you know what time it is? It's 4:30, everybody. And well, this is going to be an easy one, because when we do the roll call today, this is very, very simple. If you don't know what roll call is, Adara's going to rip off all the names in the chat that she can as fast as she can. But you got to be in the chat. So hit the like, hit that subscribe. It's a subs-only chat. But everyone's going to type the same thing. We shout out to our entire team, and we appreciate and love Fabian, Ramin, Andre on the ones and twos, the Bash Brothers on the midday, Sharif and Joe, my man Sean on the desk with me, Brendo, Adara, of course, the entire team, you guys, the viewers. But I want everyone to type the same thing, and it's a simple happy birthday, Bears versus Bulls. Everyone type that in the chat and make it absolutely rain. All the love to the best moderator in the business, and enjoy it with your family and have an awesome evening, Bears versus Bulls. But time for a little bit of roll call. Yeah, my eyes just went big there, because apparently there's a term sheet showing that BYD out of China here raised almost $6 billion in upsized Hong Kong share sales. So we could have these ADRs and watch more, but you know what's on watch right now? Happy birthday
to Bears versus Bulls and your brother. Thank you so much for all you do and for your role in this community. We're so grateful for you every day. Grav Sajev, we've got Gus, we have Malco, Farm Trader. They're coming through so fast here. Josh, Julie, Darwin, Whip, Wap Girl, Dawn, I see, Met, Bedson, Burrell, Case, Local Brada. We've got Brandon G, Malcolm Aldridge, Wall Street Only, Bob Curran, J.S. Sango. I saw Scarjo Rabbit here, Neil Joe, Celery 2. We've got Maiko. We have Fabio, R.A., Ticker Checker, J Boss, Rubicon, Hertz, Scrambler, Victory is Bliss, please sub, Jimmy C, Mike Robeson, Lass Hansen, Steve Parmy, Pedro, Mel, I think we got Maiko again here, and last but not least, I'll stop here with Mel Urich. Thank you guys so much for everyone in the chat. I apologize, I missed a lot of names that was coming through here. So much love for Bears versus Bulls, and thank you so much for everything you do. Have a wonderful rest of your birthday.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adara. And you know what? We're going to have a heck of a lot more fun because, hey, it's Tariff Tuesday tomorrow. So there's probably going to be a little bit of action. Whoops, I should have left that one up there. There we go. We'll leave it in there. It's Tariff Tuesday tomorrow. We're going to have more volatility. We're going to have reaction to the earnings. We're going to be back on the desk bright and early. But everybody rest up, enjoy it. Bears versus Bulls. You and your brother or your twin enjoy with your family, and happy birthday to you. But we're Trader TV Live, and whoo, we get to do this fun all again tomorrow. We'll see you then.